Welcome back to Goats of Wrath. We've been away for a while, but it is good to be back, and hopefully we should be having everyone back soon enough. Let's just get on with it, I think, rather than delaying any longer. So, previously, decent wrap-up, I think, catch-up needed here. The goats had been divided. Their elderly wizard Faendal decided to stay behind while the majority of them headed north to visit Thrungi's previous home. While there, you managed to help him claim a semblance of redemption, even if he may not fully accept it himself, by hunting down and killing the Orc warchief Prutha Ragefire, during which Thrungi's magical van braces that he's had on his possession for a very long time partially fused to his skin in the immense heat of battle, giving him further enhancements to his fire resistance. Upon returning to the city, your actions allowed you a chance to meet with the Thane and petition him, offering to prove yourselves again in a very weird favour, saying you would clear the paths through the Undercity that a collection of powerful elementals had laid claim to, thus reopening their mines and crucially giving the dwarves access to the legendary Faendal forge that lies beneath the city. A few hours of pretty heroic action from the lot of you, fighting multiple elementals, dealing with multiple traps, keeping your NPC Cleric alive long enough. 2, you managed to find the secret entrance to the elemental nexus, which powered the Faendal forge, successfully beat back the chaotic elementals within, and contained the nexus once more. In repayment, Thane Lorik Harlson offered you a favour, any favour that was within his power. And you graciously asked if the sword that Nyah had found in the desert 4 or 5 months ago at this point, a curse blade, which was formerly possessed by a rather dickhead of a demon, could be reforged towards a new purpose. It took a full day of non-stop working by the greatest smith the city had, but Silken Spite was reforged into Silken Destiny, now containing the sentience of an angel of Nyah's patron goddess, Latoya. And we pick up as you are all graciously shown out of the Thane's throne room. The inner city still rings with the sound of workers returning home and finishing up their days. What would you like to do? Where would you like to go?
Did we have anything else that we needed to wrap up here?
I don't think so.
No, Rambear was unable to get everything that they needed for their what spell was it? Their spell.
Reincarnate.
Thank you. I have it up.
No, you don't have everything you need for it yet.
I need some time to attune, but we can do that on the way back. Anything else we should do here?
So, just for your intel, it is early evening. Your meeting with the Thane was at dusk. So it is up to you whether you want to spend another night in the city or plan to travel back in the dark. Don't really know. Neither really itchy nose.
How are we traveling back? We're using
I
some
think we could
magic.
probably get a cart if we wanted, or we can fog cloud for a bit. It's up to you guys. Should we see if we can get some nice wine for Faendal?
Souvenir.
Yeah. Like also maybe a painting of us looking really regal. Really small painting.
I mean,
Show him what we've done, because he'll probably be
Yeah.
bored, reading all this time.
all I'm going to warn you now is that you're trying to find wine with dwarves.
You probably have like a really unpleasant fortified, 8 times fortified like barrel of wine.
That's not wine. You're onto port.
It's dwarven wine.
It's like the Russians, where it doesn't count as strong enough, so it's actually not. It actually counts as alcohol-free wine. It's actually their juice. They just dilute it with a bit of water, and that counts as their wine.
Okay, we could get him some really unpleasant. Maybe we get him something really unpleasant, like the most unpleasant liquor we can find, and tell him it's fine, it's delicacy, and all the mages say like you're really unsophisticated if you don't understand it. Can we commission like a little carving of ourselves?
You can
Yeah, let's shopping.
certainly. I say most places are closing up for the day, but you manage to find a sculpture maker.
Just a guy on the street, you know.
Oh, just a random guy on the street.
No, but you know, like one of those people like drawing caricatures, but
Oh,
stone
okay.
form.
That'll be out in the outer city, if anywhere. Yeah, let's say you come across. It's not a dwarf. It is a rather ballsy halfling man with a proper like waxed moustache, pair of like half rimmed spectacles. Is out in like the courtyard by the main gate, offering like with an easel and everything, and lazily sketching some caricatures of people that go back and forth. Rambear, you actually noticed them earlier today when you were going around trying to get a hold of an oils and everything, and that's what brought you back here.
Hey.
Oh, aye.
You do you do carvings? Carvings.
Not so much the carvings, more the paintings. I can try. Can't promise it'll be any good. I'm better at the paintings, and he actually like pulls something up, and it is a small thing of a couple of dwarves, who are deliberately like square in shape, and then an actual caricature version of Rambear, that is an incredibly shaggy, like very tree-like looking thing. It's like a walking furry tree, that is like deliberately twice the height of any dwarf that's in the photo, in the picture. I caught you earlier, so I mean, if you want it, it's 3 silver for this.
Really needs to be about this big, like very small. It's a gift for a friend, and it's if you could put some sort of enchantment on it that keeps it waterproof.
I mean,
I think it would be really nice to put on his keys.
I
If
don't
someone's using his keys,
I don't do enchantments, sorry. But
so we can find somebody.
I'm a small person. I can do small. If you got half an hour, I can do 4.
Do we pose?
Half an hour?
Or
I mean, feel free to do whatever the hell you want.
just kind of draw my sword and just pose like.
And there's Rambear coming in from the corner like Scooby-Doo monster.
Thrungi and Balthazar doing?
Gonna stand there,
Just
looking
awkward.
bemused at you. Just awkwardly like, what the hell's going on here?
Raised, and a beer keg in his
When
hand.
the caricature is finished, that keg is the size of you. Nyah, the sword, is ostentatiously glowing and bedecked in jewels and deliberately made to look ridiculous. Rambear, as I said, is a Scooby-Doo creature, to the point of like that you can see like stitch marks around the head where the head would come off to show that there's someone underneath it. And Balthazar has actually just become this. He's wearing one of those like sandwich boards which just says, "Why am I here?" Finishes it up. Splashes of colour, not necessarily the neatest. He goes, call it 2 silver for each of you and 8 silver all told.
I will get this.
He rips it off the easel, and it's about that big, and hands it over to you. Wow, pleasure doing business. Weirdest one I've had, but there we go.
Thank you. Rava's gonna go to shake his hand.
I
want to lift the halfling.
Yeah, you got to shake it and it just goes. Well, make that 2 unique things for the day then. You are quite weird individuals. Anything else? Could do solo portraits or no? Okay, I better go to bed then. And he starts packing up all of his gear. And I assume you lot start heading back to your rooms at the Stone Apple for the night. At that point, Nyah, you feel a sharp stab in your thigh. You look down and you see something you definitely weren't expecting. A peacock. Specifically, a peacock, but around its torso is a velvet sack, out of which you can see like a small envelope, kind of just peeking out. And the peacock kind of looks at you with a beady glare, verging on annoyance.
Peacock wearing... Is it Faendal's peacock?
It looks very similar. It doesn't have a top hat though. Not this one.
Okay. I'll grab the note. The peacock.
You take the letter out, and the peacock just continues to keep pecking you, looking at you expectantly.
I'll read the note quickly.
Chris, do you want to voice from beyond what the note says? Or, in that case, do a physical letter.
Oh my god, your handwriting is terrible. Okay.
Wizards are the doctors of D&D worlds. Terrible handwriting. No one can read it.
Yeah.
Oh, it says, dearest ghost. I will call the rest over before I read it.
The peacock is like verging on full-on attacking Nyah at this point. It seems to be very annoyed it's now being ignored and it wants something.
You post a picture in the chat later.
What, of the peacock?
Oh, a letter.
Okay. Dearest ghost, I hope your travels have been safe and that you have accomplished what you set out to do. I have missed your companionship dearly. I write to you now with ill tidings. We must convene as soon as possible. My travels have taken me to Adam, and so I suggest we rendezvous at the Taryn Hold. I have been told by locals that they are respectable folk, and I am confident that we will be welcomed graciously with Nyah there. I urge you to make your way there post haste. I am on my way, but have taken a maybe reckless path. However, this message should get me there quickly. I am likely to arrive before you, and as such humbly request that Nyah provide a token of authenticity to authenticate my claim of friendship to your parents. Please provide said token promptly. This messenger can be impatient and appears to have a poor attitude. I hope to see you all soon. Kindness regards, dear friend and companion, Faendal Rendola.
Did he say he was going to meet Adam? Is there something we don't know about?
We at the Adham Principality, so he's going to my Adham, yes, he's going to my house.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Invited.
Why?
To go there if you don't want to. Just let him appear by himself and see what happens.
Well, I thought we left him reading a book.
He's a troublemaker though. He gets bored.
Speaking of troublemaker, the peacock's now attacking Balthazar.
I'm just trying to fend it off.
It's full of like,
Not really.
What's a token of authenticity?
Something that proves it's you.
Or, wait, or you could send something that proves that he is not a friend of yours and see what happens. We'll arrive a few days later.
Do you mind if we cut off a finger?
No!
Oh, we could send Vent's finger.
Well, I'm trying to think. I don't really have anything. I kind of didn't take anything from my home when I left.
They recognize like a lock of hair.
Suppose I could spare a little tiny end of the hair. I don't know if they'll recognize it, but we can try.
You don't have anything from your home? Purse, little badge, little sigil.
Well, I've got my horse sigil on my armor, but I'm not sending my armor.
Oh no.
Balthazar, can you make me a strength
It would
saving
be-
throw?
Sure.
It would be funny to try and send the bird back with the armor.
I should have had a
16.
portrait done by the little half thing.
The peacock tries to like pull you down to the ground and start attacking you.
Okay, fine. You know what? A strand of hair will have to do. Might be weird. After an enchantment, I have nothing else.
Maybe you could sign a piece of paper also. Maybe a note with the hair.
I would say, Nyah, even through your travels, you are well trained enough to have kept your family seal on you.
Oh.
If you
What are
wanted
you?
to.
The
If
hair.
you want to screw him over with the hair, feel free.
You need a trim anyway.
This is what is Faendal doing? So we'll write a note. I've got some parchment. What do I say? Hi. I'm Faendal's friend.
Faendal's your friend. They know who you are.
I'm Nyah. He's my friend. I vouch for him. I'll sign it with my name, and I'll. Does anyone have any wax news?
In my ear.
Is there any safe words you can put in that make them think that Faendal's not totally above board?
I'll write down the family motto, like in a PS. Yeah.
What is the family motto?
What is the family motto?
What is the family motto?
You can't just say that.
The motto is.
While she thinks, Balthazar, it's going for your coin purse now.
Can I just grab the bird? I just kind of hold it around the middle.
Yeah, its long neck is still going after your coin purse.
At least it's not going to go anywhere with it.
With your passive perception, you do notice it does have a slightly smaller velvet bag that is the equivalent of a coin purse for a peacock on it.
Right. So it wants some money for the journey, basically.
With your insight, yeah.
We're gonna cop up.
It's like a very passive aggressive bellhop in a hotel.
I'll just write the PS, strength and dignity. That's the motto my father used to tell me. I think it's true. Yeah. Should we pay the peacock?
It's attacking my purse, so I'm going to pay the peacock. Hopefully it stops then.
I will grab the note. And I'll try and put it back on the peacock. How the other one was.
Do you give it some coinage while you do so?
I'll be giving it something while I'm
Cool.
wrestling with it.
Start with the smallest denomination and see when it stops fighting.
Is it a smart enough bird?
If a bird could look at you with sarcasm and disdain for a copper piece.
Birds can only look at you with sarcasm and disdain. Given.
That's true. This is excessive.
Because it's probably looking for the shininess of the metal, so silver or gold would do it.
What are you giving it?
I'll give it a silver.
Silver piece. It seems Annoyed it's not getting more, but it'll do. It does peck you in the face one last time. Before it itself begins, like it wrestles free of your grip, sits down on the floor, starts pacing away, and as it's pacing away, it fades into just arcane mist and has disappeared.
That was a very passive-aggressive bird.
I don't know if that's passive aggressive. I think that's just straight up aggressive.
Yeah, true. I wonder where the money went.
Peacock black market.
Black market peacock mages? Like, what is this?
Oh, do you know the tavern he was talking about?
Says he's in trouble and that there's ill tidings, so
Think we should set off now?
well, could we contact him anyway and tell him to, just rendezvous at the guild instead? Surely he can make it there if he's in trouble.
He said
Maybe
he's
we don't
already
wanna
on
go
his
back
way.
to Adhelm.
Oh, we don't have time to detail and stuff. It would just be easier if we meet up at the guild. Or we're supposed to meet up. I don't know why Faendal isn't there.
Maybe he's found some important information about Xenodus. He can only procure it at Adhelm. Maybe he's just very nosy and wants to meet your parents. Both sound like him. Ooh. What if disguise you? We go there.
Disguise me.
Yeah, if you've got a problem going there, you don't want people to recognize you. Maybe you had some work done. I've heard about this. People leave their family home. They have their faces completely changed, and then they don't want to go back. Your nose.
And he worked
That's
on
a common thing.
No, we'll just. Okay, we'll go. He might be on the outskirts, so we'll just grab him and go. Go.
Okay. Is this tavern on the outskirts? No, I know where this tavern is.
He's
Straight
not going
to
to a
my
tavern. He was going to the Taryn homestead, which is Nyah's surname.
Tavern!
Okay, we go. I keep watch, because there's ill tidings. I was thinking just now, I'll keep watch. Go in, grab him. Like, back to the guild, follow the plan.
Okay, so we need to at least get there.
Yes.
How far
I
away
think.
is it?
How far?
Well, Taryn Estate is in eastern Adhelm, which means it's on the border of the Bleakfen Steppes. If you look at your map, where you are is actually the narrowest point of the Bleakfen Steppes. It wouldn't take you long.
One day?
With Windwalk, you would get there probably in about 6 hours.
Can't do windwalk yet today. We've got to have a little nap. Think?
You had a long rest since you've done it. Yeah.
You would have had a long rest. Yeah, because you went to sleep after you cleared out the mines, and then you haven't really done anything today.
I don't know what I use my spells for, but okay, if we had a rest, that's fine.
You had a long rest because I have.
Now, though,
I haven't put it on my sheet, I don't think. Oh no, I have. I've got all my hit points back. Nice. Hang in.
It's dark now, so maybe if we leave in the morning.
And if we leave in the morning, he'll definitely beat us there. He's gonna beat us there anyway, apparently. But he'll spend. The thing is, though, if we leave now, we'll arrive there before he can do himself into more trouble. If we wait until tomorrow. I mean, you've met Faendal. He's bad at He's got no people skills.
You know what? Let's just
I'm a
leave.
bear, and I know that.
Let's go now.
Nothing else to do here.
I don't think so.
I look at the sword, kind of like I really want to, but yeah, we'll wait. Go.
Oh yeah, we did long rest while we waited for your sword.
I can use the other one in the meanwhile. We're just grabbing him and going to the guild. So yeah.
So you're heading off now? At the final
Yes.
decision?
I think so.
Okay.
Do you have anything else?
How fast does Liveplay travel?
300 miles an hour? 300 feet around, something like that.
Yeah.
Very quickly. As I say, you would cross the Bleakfen steps, but by this point, caricature, post-dusk, bear in mind it's still like autumn, so dusk is quite late. It's probably about 10 o'clock right now. You would be arriving at 4 a.m. and crossing a known dangerous land territory at night. It's up to you.
Clouds. Who cares?
I'm just making sure you are conscious of all the information.
But there's clouds. We're super high up. It's fine.
Maybe sleep in. I would just grab Faendal and leave.
Maybe he is
We
sleeping.
can find him, yeah.
So, we don't want to
really
disturb.
sleep.
Very busy. We don't want to disturb them. I don't want Faendal to get involved. That's really rude for him. I know. I don't want my family to get in trouble, and it's not fair for him to get involved. So grab him, go to the guild, and sort out whatever he's got into, and then back to the plan. Yep. Let's go back to Faendal.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. With a casting of Windwalk, you're all suddenly clouds. And you begin trekking off. I do assume you headed back to your rooms to pick up everything of your stuff before just vamossing. Nyah, since you're the one that knows where you're going, I need you to roll me a survival check. At disadvantage, because it's the middle of the night and you don't know how to star read.
Oh, it's either a 12 or a 10.
Or 10. There's a... You're heading across and you just... Because you don't have your sword out to actually point to direct north because you're a cloud, you don't actually have a sense of where north is. You do your best to kind of keep the coast that you know is out there somewhere to your right. But it's not the smoothest of sailings. You get caught up in some strong breezes that the Bleakfen Steps are known for and do kind of like nudge you off course. To the point that you only get to... You're getting to the point that the 6 hour mark that you thought would probably land me near enough to the Taryn area. You're still fairly confident you're in the Bleakfen Steps. You must be getting near the edge, but you're still kind of flying around. While that happens, Balthazar, you're travelling through the sky, enjoying the carefree sensation of being missed on the wind. A sensation that you have all become quite quickly accustomed to with the amount it's been used in the last week since Rambear learnt it. And then you feel a flash of deep, numbing pain. And momentarily, you lose thought and begin to fall. Your mind is racing as the wind whips past your ears. Pain, a deep cooling of endless, satisfying purpose. And you are plummeting through the sky in your humanoid form.
We notice?
Yeah, does anyone notice? Holy fuck.
Nyah would be the only one who doesn't. You're all flying fairly close to each other.
It takes like a whole minute to come out of.
Oh, he's hitting the deck before we can catch him.
Balthazar,
Yeah.
what do you want to do?
How high up are we?
Yeah, how high?
A good few hundred feet. You're flying at
What?
low aircraft altitudes to make decent time. So it's not like an instant he's going to hit the ground.
If I try and return to the cloud form, can I feel that working or not?
You can, yeah. But you are also deeply distracted by something calling you north. North. Out beyond the sea. Something that hasn't been present now is.
Can I fight it?
Roll me.
Can I do something to stop myself from feeling it?
Roll a wisdom saving throw.
24.
24. Suddenly the world snaps back to you. Your lungs screaming for you to breathe as you realise you've been holding it in. The ground is racing towards you, and then suddenly you turn back into your mist form and coast straight back up.
Can I
Well-
see anything around that would be a good landing place that isn't just bleak fence steps like horror land?
Roll me a perception check at disadvantage because it is the middle of the night.
And
10. 10. You are scanning around and it is just darkness. You are in the middle of the wilderness. You are high up. You can see some rough outlines of tall hills / mountains. You don't really know.
okay.
There is definitely ground down there somewhere.
Yeah. I'm a little unperturbed that I could just fall out of the sky like that. I thought it was supposed to slow fall me. I thought it was supposed to take a minute to transform. So I'm worried about it happening again. But I don't have any way to contact anyone, so I'm going to just try and rejoin everyone.
Okay.
Like, the only
Fair.
thing I can do is stick with them until we land.
Thrungi and
Can't
I
even
technically
count.
noticed.
Yeah, but like
aren't
none
doing
of
anything.
you could do anything about it because it took you a minute to transform.
Naya's just like. Actually, I feel like Naya's probably reluctantly dragging behind us. Actually, I don't think she's in the lead. I think she's trying to get us lost.
He would probably have gone off, followed him down.
Yeah, I reckon we would have actually gone down if we noticed. Oh, we wouldn't be able to do
there's
anything, but
nothing
we'd
I
just
can
be like
communicate.
watching him splat onto the ground would be the only thing we could do. So I'd like to say that we did drop.
I think we just got to keep going. Just got to try and stick
We-
together.
But nearer the ground, just in case this happens. But
We
we can't
can.
communicate that, but we
We
should,
could just like
we
float
should be
together.
hovering
I
nearer
guess.
the ground. Ominous mist.
It doesn't change our speed or anything, so I guess we could go like right above the treetops or whatever.
You know, with it like where you wouldn't splat to nothingness.
Yeah.
Harder to navigate. I think.
Although does our forward
back up.
speed of 300 feet per round come into effect when we hit the ground?
Not really.
If it's like instant like that.
If we're like,
Right in your face.
yeah, if it's like you know you're in a car and it suddenly stops and you're just like launched out, it would be unfortunate.
So, do you keep pushing on?
But lower to the ground if we can get Nyah's attention.
Easily enough. Balthazar, roll me perception check. Not at disadvantage. Straight roll.
23. 2, sorry.
22. In your panic and desire to take your attention off it, you didn't notice in the moment, but after a short while, after you've kind of caught your breath in mist form, you kind of just... part of your brain reaches out to kind of think on them. And you think on the element that you've been able to track where the other ones are to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
You realise none of them are to the south anymore. All the ones you could sense previously are now north of you.
Ah, fuck. So, Xenazis is going after the last one. Basically.
You have no way to communicate that with anyone.
No.
I don't know what Emma's doing.
Alright.
The spell comes to an end just as you actually manage to cross into the Adhelm Principality. You manage to make it out of the Bleak Fen steps due to how narrow it is at this point. But it is 4 a.m. You have no real navigation. No, it's not even 4 a.m. It's 8 hours. It's 6 a.m. The sun is starting to crest behind you. And you are in the Adhelm Principality. As you all come to rest.
Okay. So that was scary as fuck. But
Why did you do that? That
I
was
didn't
really
do it.
weird.
I didn't do it. I was just suddenly not a cloud. It's supposed to take a minute, but it was instant, and I was just falling with like blood pounding in my head and stuff. And then I focused, and I was a cloud again. But I did notice afterwards all of the orbs that I used to be able to sense down south are now north. So...
And crucially, you can sense another one.
Okay. And I can sense... What is it? Is it all 6 now? I can sense all 6 now.
Well, no, you can only sense 5. One of them is shielded in the Citadel.
Yeah.
But it's the 6th one.
But yeah. And I can sense the last one. So they're
Same
all
direction?
together-ish. They're all north. They're all that way.
That means Xenadis found the last one.
Yeah, it seems he's gone to go and get it. I only
Mhm.
noticed it while we were flying, so I don't know how he got there or how he got the last one out, but something happened.
Maybe these are the ill tidings that Faendal was referring to.
Maybe. We'd have to find him and meet up with him. I guess when we long rest, I can sort out my spells, and I can pick up sending to try and help find him.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's the question. Do you want to long rest now, or do you want to push on? You will have light to travel with, but bear in mind... Well, you didn't have a strenuous day yesterday. It's been a while since you've slept.
Yeah.
You could push on. Any endurance tests would be quite easy because you haven't really physically exerted yourself during the day. But bear in mind, you are at risk of failing them.
Do you know where we are, Nyah?
Too dark.
Vaguely? Like,
Maybe find our way, but I think seeing how bad things are, it's probably best we just rest and then try and contact Faendal and get it come where we are.
okay. Like, he said he was going to be a few days. It depends where he is. travel-wise.
What are you doing?
I vote for finding a safe place to rest.
Thrungi not buy a sending stone at some point?
No, you have a sending stone to a elven bounty hunter who works for the guild.
Nyah has that one.
It's the booty stone.
Pretty cool.
What are you doing, guys? Resting? Or pushing up?
I vote
Alright.
resting.
I think maybe we should push on.
I think push on.
It's possible that Faendal also felt this, and I think it's better that we get to each other. Tuggy, we get to each other together. We reunite and work out what our plans are. I think we can rest when we're there, but would probably be better if we just arrived, so we could discuss this.
It would be good to know what news he has or troubling information he has.
Maybe, somehow, single-handedly, Faendal has found has found and defeated Zenidus and has just gone up north. Maybe he's gone mad with
Could you
power.
imagine if I done that on a
He's been
1-on-1?
corrupted. He's got all the orbs and he's up north now. We didn't know it's Zenidus.
Faendal just went, fuck it, I'll do it myself. So, pushing on?
Well, we can.
Group decision. Make a decision.
No, it really doesn't want to.
That's because she doesn't want to go home.
You don't know that. You don't know that. It could
I
be
mean,
that she thinks the resting
Balthazar-
is the best.
Balthazar definitely has caught a wind that Nyah is hiding something and does not want to go home.
Thrungi will, because he knows the story.
That's a good point. You know the story. Balthazar's got a passive insight of 20, so he just knows. He's just looking at it going,
Rambear just believes her. Whatever she says.
You've got a decent passive insight, but not to that
Willfully
extent.
ignorant.
Yeah.
That insight works against other people. The people in the group, Rambear just believes it are fine.
Friend! How would friend lie?
You make a good point about getting there and seeing what Faendal has to offer, so.
Okay, I suppose when we get the maybe we can something in.
Cannot catch the end of your sentence. I'm really sorry, Sarah.
Like, no, maybe we'll also figure out a way to contact him. I can summon my horse. Send him on ahead.
True.
Good
Your
idea.
horse can fly now.
The horse can fly now.
Yeah. Pick up Faendal. He said this.
A mile radius from you?
It's a mile that you can communicate with it.
Huh.
Beyond that, there is nothing which says how far away it can be.
Just as long as it still follows your last command type thing.
Yeah. It has an intelligence score of 6 and able to understand one language that you speak, so... It is able to take a message and head off if you want to camp here and rest. Cool. Okay.
I'm tired.
Uh,
And she did move her eyebrows in a compelling way.
Electo is not super fast, and you're only just in the border, and you weren't a border family. You were closer to the western side of the eastern province. So he has a fair distance to go, but he at least is heading off and should arrive. Definitely ahead of you, whether it's ahead of Faendal, you don't know. But you all take a long rest. Slightly harder than it would have been, considering you are now trying to fall asleep in the blazing light of dawn. But long enough day, Balthazar's panic, you do manage to fall asleep. Not going to make you roll for watches or anything. It's perfectly fine. 8 hours later, you wake up. Balthazar, can you roll me a perception check?
18.
18. The spheres have moved.
Where are they now?
South.
Again, have they just like flipped back?
Yep. All of them.
Guys, the spheres have gone back again. This time, all 5 of the ones we don't have are back south. Senators must have gone and got the 6th one and taken it home again.
Well, fuck.
That means he just needs one left from the guild.
It means he'll probably be going there next then.
Possibly, probably.
Very unproductive.
Does he know where it's being kept? You think he knows?
I think we decided he probably has a good idea because we could sense the stones before us the same time he could. So he'd sort of have a vague idea of where we were before we shielded it. But only like a general idea. But I mean, educated guess it would go to the guild capital. Plus he's got an army, he'll just keep marching in that direction until he hits something.
Did we send word to the guild?
Have I tuned to the sword? Like, no. Oh no, we can't tune it now.
I'd muted my mic. Sorry. Yes, we can say you did one of the watches, and during that time you were tuned to the sword. And you can now hear an angel in your head.
Does that mean that I'm also now... What is it? Did I have my makeover?
Yes, that's a good point. I'm going to say you took last watch for this. So, everyone, Balthazar, the first thing you thought about when you woke up was the spheres, and you turned to Nyah to have that conversation. Everyone else, you wake up as Nyah's waking you up, and you turn around to see Nyah look different.
How does Nyah look?
Do you want to explain? I can if you want.
Yeah, you explain.
Okay, the first thing you notice about her more than anything is her eyes have become orbs of deep purple. There is no iris, there is no pupil, it is just purple, slightly glossy eyes. Kind of like spider eyes. Upon closer inspection, you can also see that her hair has cobwebs in it. Not like in a dirty old way. They kind of accentuate like silver on gold kind of way. It's disturbing, but does complement her quite nicely. And as she's walking around Balthazar, you were the first to be woken up. You do notice that as she steps, while there is a faint mist around, just due to the cold dampness of the air, you notice that as Nyah steps, there are plumes of mist coming off her heels.
Literally misty steps?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, that's going to be hard to explain to the parents.
Can she see at night now? She have
Her dark vision is back.
Finally.
That's it.
I'll also note her armor class is now 23 as well.
It is.
I was rolling. It's an artifact, so it gets random beneficial and detrimental properties, and it rolled +1 AC.
Oh.
So, Nyah's up to AC of 23.
Nick.
So literally, the only chance she'll get to hurt her is a crit.
I mean, what kind of monsters do you think are running around that only have +4 to hit? Anyway, that is the second fun surprise you have in the morning. What do you want to do?
What do you mean? Be weird. Okay.
Say again?
What do you mean? Why are you all staring at me?
You never had purple eyes before. What color were Nyah's eyes?
Blue.
Maybe they were always like this. Your hair. You've definitely done something different with your hair. Curled
I
it.
did not do anything to my...
Thrungi will... Hold on, let me just check something. How shiny is the hook, Geth?
What?
How reflective is the animus?
Oh, that is essentially made of a kind of black glass, so it's partially see-through, partially pretty shiny. You could just about see a reflection in it if angled correctly, yeah.
Well, I thought then Thrungi holds out that and kind of angles it.
And I'm gonna just look at my sword and just go. I think it's odd. Well, does
Looks
it look
good.
good? You
Looks
sure?
good.
You sure it doesn't
Sure.
look creepy?
Oh.
Would you trust me? If you met me right now, would you trust me if you saw me?
The eyes are a bit freaky.
Eyes are a bit. You can wear sunglasses.
Sunglasses are canon.
Okay.
Glasses were invented.
Then you'll be extra threatening because then you can lower them and people will see you're a badass bitch.
Wait. Do you recognize me? Like, if you saw me right now, if I appear out of nowhere, would you still think I'm Nyah?
Yeah?
Maybe.
Her facial
Hey, no.
features haven't changed. Still the same shape.
What if I put a cloak on and I put some makeup or like just make, you know, with just the eyes and the hair? You wouldn't think, right?
I don't know how good you are at makeup.
Ow.
I mean, if you're trying to disguise, you want a disguise kit, which I think none of you have.
Nah.
No, I was just thinking maybe I have like minor illusion. I can minor illusion like a massive wart or something on her face, but I don't think I do.
I mean, frankly, if you have minor illusion, you may as well just minor illusion her face.
Or be a disguise self spell.
Probably works.
You could minor illusion face. The problem is minor illusion is static in space.
You'll just have Nyah walk and then suddenly her face goes through her face.
Well, it's not even that. It's the fact the face wouldn't move as she talked.
Well, no, because if it's solid in space, that means when Nyah walks away after Rambear's cast it, the face stays put.
I'm double checking whether it does say static in space. It would be a static image regardless. So even if it did move, it wouldn't work.
I'm just gonna.
We know it's
Does it have to be a static image?
It doesn't state it's static. The image itself is static. The image can't move. But
you know this from other game.
yeah,
We tried to make fire.
yeah. Anyway,
Was done.
Over like my emblem of the armor and the rest of the thing, and Faendal might be on his way back. Maybe a lesser one creature.
so it is now 6 plus an 8-hour long rest. Is 2 in the afternoon. What are you doing?
Need to change my spell sheet. character sheet, but
Oh, yeah.
I will cast Sending and say to Faendal, where are you? We've just arrived in Adhelm. Will you be going towards the homestead immediately?
You've got 7 words left if you want them.
I can't think.
Cool. Faendal, do you want to
Yes, dude.
respond?
I'm here already, waiting for you outside. Nyah, what happened with your brother?
Faendal says he's already there, which we kind of expected. But he also asked about your brother, Nyah.
I'm gonna look over at Thrungi like quietly, like he knows.
Thrungi's face is made of stone, like it has been from what, like it normally is. It gives nothing.
Like we need to leave. You know? We can talk about family stuff. Save the world, like let's get on the next one.
Okay. He said he's outside the homestead. I guess you know that where that is, and we could just start traveling. Are we fart clouding again, or are we just walking?
Sorry, I'm just checking through my spell list because I want to do some things today. Save this. The new day. But it's up to you. Would you like to fart cloud? He does want us there pretty urgently, I guess.
It would be convenient, I guess.
All right. We can do that. I will continue this later.
Okay. You quickly transform and head off. Nyah, it doesn't take long before you're kind of flying over country that you recognize quite well and are able to navigate towards the Taryn Estate quite easily. Question for you. Are you planning on going to the main road that the estate branches off of? Or are you actually flying directly to the estate itself? Or anywhere else nearby? Those are just the 2 specific landmarks that would be obvious.
I'm gonna guess I'll fit up in the bit. Go there.
So you're going to the estate, yeah? Okay. You fly over, and before long you're kind of away from the wild lands of neighbouring the steppes, and come flying across kind of broad fields and paddocks where you're flying slightly lower today compared to yesterday, just in case. And you can kind of make out that there's tall fences lining each of these. Some of them are empty. Many others are dotted with horses here and there. Most horses appear to be of a grey-haired breed, tall and quite kind of well-built. Pretty much all of the other fields that aren't empty are filled with a couple hundred cows at a time. This area of Adhelm is known for cattle ranching, as well as other things that none of you would really know about. Nyah, you would know. that this area is particularly famed for its military horses. Large majority of the Adhel military and militaries further afield use the greyhead breed from the Eastern Province, also known as East of the Rivers. From this high up, you can see that the estate itself is actually a decent few miles from the main road, and if you were travelling on horseback from the main road to the estate, you'd probably be riding for an extra hour. It's deliberately kind of tucked away. But you do finally come across and can see from above a spacious courtyard, dotted around which are picket fences and poles for tying up horses, and space for wagons to pull up. To one side is a large, sturdy stable, pristine wood that's been well varnished and maintained. The large doors of which sit slightly open. And as you kind of all coast down into the courtyard following Nyah's direction, you can make out there's a couple of stalls inside. And Nyah, as you begin to kind of shift out of cloud form, you can sense the Electo is actually in those stables. As you finish settling down, you take in the rest of what's in this courtyard. Standing proud to the opposite side to the stable is the Taryn family house, a sprawling complex which backs out into the fields and land beyond. The light stone walls are made of exposed brickwork, which is very bright in the sun. It's quite like a light sandstone colour. The roofs are all slanted terracotta tiles, which slope down to meet very tall windows, which seem to let in plenty of light into the house. Having flown in, you kind of got a decent view of the house. It's had lots of annexes and extensions added to the original property over the years. Clearly, as the family has grown, so has the original house along with it. The tallest point of the house is an open teak wood veranda that sits above the roof. The house is actually only 2 stories tall, a ground floor and a top floor, and then this veranda that sits on top. A matching awning provides it with a semblance of shade, and it provides a beautiful kind of lookout over the entire grounds of the estate. And the last thing you notice is sitting there cross-legged, pretty much in the middle of the courtyard, a bald, bearded elf in very fine robes, taking a little break. Chris.
Okay, I've realised I don't think I've ever seen Balthazar.
No.
They did after separating, so that's pretty good. What the hell? What was that? You killed the guy.
Is that a new spell, Rambear's? Quite useful.
Not expect.
This whole thing. Also, hi!
Hello!
I was gonna pick you up in a big bear hug. Squeeze you too tight.
Good to see you too, Rambear. I too have been learning new magics. I honestly thought I would meet you by a lot longer in time. So it's good to see you too, Rambear. I too have been learning some new magic. I've figured out how to teleport. Yeah, I can now just. So I thought I'd beat you by a lot more.
You can teleport?
Yeah.
Like right now?
No, it's a very powerful spell, and I've used it to get here. And I encountered some gnolls on the way. Also, I attacked gnolls by myself. Oh, you guys should have seen it. I'm quite convinced while you guys were away.
You survived a fight on your own.
I survived too. Another fight. Fought a horde of undead. Sailed the seas. Met Veteran again from the Blue Tower. Oh, it's been a wild ride.
In that case, we should go back to the guild and you. Okay. Why are you left?
I get back to the guild right now. How would we get back to the guild? Oh, I assume we can fly. You've got that.
How?
Can't get you to fly now. It'll take another day. Think.
I've used my teleportation.
Good old walking then.
if daggers were out of eyes were real. Jesus.
No, your parents seem very eager to see you. They say they haven't seen you in years. When I mentioned you, it wasn't as though they were steely faced. They were very worried about you. It seemed like you disappeared very suddenly.
This is your parents' house.
Yeah, I just had a conversation with you. They said you and your brother disappeared around the same time. I didn't even know you had a brother.
Have a brother.
How long?
Look the same.
Look, they are very excited. Let us talk about them. I said, your parents are very excited to see you. They say that you and your brother have been missing for a while. They seem very worried about you. That you went missing around the same time. You said,
Well,
what's the right?
yeah, what's the deal?
And I said, let's not talk about them up here. Talk about them in a more comfortable setting.
No, Faendal, this is urgent. Balthazar sends, and I'm just saying we need to get back to the guild.
I know there's a few things I've cracked the Taryn text. There's a few things to discuss, but we can't get back to the guild anyway right now. Let's at least sit down and discuss them. We have things to think about.
You know, it's too dangerous. We don't want to involve my family. Xenadis could be at any moment.
Why would Xenadis come here? He doesn't know where we are.
Just out of curiosity, how long were we in Fart Cloud this morning to get here?
Like 2 hours tops.
Oh, okay.
We can still fuck that for a bit.
Yeah.
I can't pass off.
Faendal.
No. No. I mean, so there is a way, but it's not going to happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
your parents were willing to have me in, but they just weren't sure whether I was truthful about knowing you, Nyah. They were very excited when I said that I was friends with you.
What did you tell them?
I just said I travelled with you. I've been travelling with you for, close to a year now, surely.
It is important to note at this point, Faendal, Nyah currently has purple eyes.
Yep.
He's just running with it.
I'm running with it. Are you okay? Like, I feel like I'm angering you, and your eyes are very aggressively colourful.
You shouldn't have come here. What reason did you have to come here?
I needed somewhere safe and somewhere to hold, and my options had us going between going to the north for another sphere, going back to the guild, or going to the Ashen Waste. And this is a good in between, and it's your family, surely they would welcome. I contacted you last night.
When you were already on your way here.
I actually set off this morning. I pressed at the tower with Bethrin. We started some things to do. I don't understand the issue. If you've been missing for this long, why haven't you returned to your parents? They're very worried about you.
Maybe she has her own reasons.
The reason is, everyone that I have ever loved in my life has died. Long, long ago as well. Do not run away from the connections you have in this world now.
Whatever your story is, it does not give you the right to dictate how others.
I understand. I am sorry that I have imposed. But now I am more worried about you. Guys, I have realized more of my journey. You guys are a new family for me in my last few years. I've only got half a century still left, you know? So, I really... and I just want to make sure you guys are as well as can be. And this seems like a real sore spot now that I'm here. Isn't this be helpful?
We also think of you as family, Faendal. We got you this. Rambear's gonna give you the little drawing of us.
Adorable. You could send me a granddad or something. That's what you get grandparents pictures. Photos.
The kids.
Am I like, do you consider me a grandfather? Granddad?
You asking this in character or?
In character.
You are very old. Too old to be my grandfather, though. Like a great
You're not
grandfather.
It's Janet, not your father.
True, Daddy.
He's a lot older than I am, Rambear. I know I look it, but Rambear, do you know how age works? How old are you, Rambear?
Born, grow up, see the seasons change, and then eventually, if you have no hair, eventually, if you have less hair, you lose it all. If you have a lot of hair, then it turns white. You look majestic. No hair is unfortunate. You become wrinkles.
At which point you notice that Thrungi basically has no hair.
Thrungi? What? Actually, I'm not even going to comment. Faendal doesn't comment. Faendal knows Thrungi too well. He's like, I'm not a mohawk, because it's a very iconic mohawk. It's called, I think it was the first thing he noticed. He's just kind of like, that seems like a sore spot. As does presumably the rest of his very burnt body.
It's definitely burned scars. It's healed due to magic at this point.
So there is acknowledgement. Maybe it's a little nod. But
He also now has quite a hefty thumb ring that you've never seen before.
And Balthazar isn't changed.
No, I haven't changed at all.
It's only day one.
Look, do we have to do this outside? Let us just go rest inside. I'm sure it's about lunch. I'm sure your family would be happy to put on a meal for us. As I said, I had a rough fight with some gnolls this morning. I would like a rest. While we were just...
You haven't made a doctor?
I said I was a friend of yours. That we have been on adventures together for a while now, close to a year. And that we are in a perilous situation and needs a place to meet and discuss stuff. He's more than happy and more than likely to do it. We weren't sure whether to trust him. Yeah.
What sort of food do they have here? Do you know? Have they fed you yet?
I would assume, looking at the fields, lots of beef and dairy.
I'm a berries and beans kind of person.
Cheeseburgers. Lots and lots of cheeseburgers.
Well,
Quick stay. And as soon as we're rested.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what you wish. Let us go to the front door and meet a family.
Oh,
so you head up the short steps that lead up to a wide porch that kind of goes along the full house. And
Did you hear what she said?
no.
She said they're gonna think she's in a goth phase.
It's not a phase, Mom. Yes, you head up, and it doesn't have one set of double doors, actually. This house has two sets of double doors that seem to lead in from this porch. And before you can even knock, the door opens from the inside, Nyah. And opening it is a bald-headed, slightly short human man. hooked nose, perfectly tailored butler's outfit. You know this man. This is Laurel. He is the head of the household staff, and has been for as long as you can remember. And he knows everything about how this house is run. He shows no signs of... He doesn't flinch upon seeing your current appearance. Balthazar and Faendal, you're able to tell that is through intense practice and control of his mannerisms. It's not that he hasn't registered it. Upon seeing you, he just goes, "Ah, Miss Nyah. What a pleasant surprise to have you home. The Lord and Lady will be most pleased. Please,
Okay.
if you wish to enter. They are about to have lunch, but I will get them to meet you in the great room shortly." Nyah heads in, and you all eventually head in. And we'll take a break there as you enter into the household, and prepare to meet Nyah's family for the first time ever. But yeah, we'll see you in a bit. Bringing us back in. So, we pick up just as Nyah and the rest of you enter into the Taryn household. You walk into what is known as the Great Room, a large open space, tall, reaches all the way up to the top of the top floor. There is a mezzanine that walks around it, and a large central staircase that leads up to that mezzanine. There are a number of family portraits dotting the walls. Taking a quick glance at them, kind of feigned out with your more experienced eye, they're clearly kind of through the generations family portraits kind of thing. When a new lord of the household essentially takes over, and his family's established, and a new portrait is commissioned. You can very easily spot the most recent one, in which there are 4 figures. There is a tall man. He's not very broad, but clearly tall, with a well-groomed bushy orange moustache, which accents similarly bushy eyebrows. He wears a tailored military-style outfit, and his hair kept short and quite plain, sandy brown, roughly in colour. Next to him, a very good-looking middle-aged-ish woman at this point. This is a few years ago, based on this portrait. Long blonde hair, which is clearly where Nyah gets her hair from. Pointed chin, but otherwise soft facial features. You see Nyah probably about 5 or so years ago, you would estimate. 5, 6, 7, kind of teenage Nyah. Dressed up in a very nice dress, not armoured in any way, shape or form. It's very much regal, noble attire. And then next to her, a slightly similar looking child, about the same height, her brother, who, again, long blonde hair, tall for his age. But the two of them look remarkably alike, to be honest. Not twins, but clearly similar disposition. You take all this in, and Laurel points you to stand just next to. I'll be right back with the Lord and Lady, if you don't mind waiting here. And he heads off down a corridor to elsewhere in the household. You guys have a brief moment if you wish to discuss anything.
Is Nyah looking at the painting?
Yeah.
She look sad, happy, anxious, sad.
They're trying to hide it, like just kind of like quiet and in thought.
Does
I
anybody
think the
notice?
passive insight of this party is so high compared to your passive deception.
Does anybody notice? Trying to notice.
What's your deception, Sarah?
Another step.
+8.
Ooh! Actually, never mind. are two of us.
So Faendal and Balthazar are able to notice that she is putting up a front, essentially. And clearly she's quite tense.
And to be expected. She's been not wanting to come here this whole past 2 days, basically.
So she just wanted Faendal out. About being here, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything out loud. I'm just going to watch, basically.
Ever's gonna quietly approach her. Say, it's okay. They're your parents. Excited to see you.
The rest of this decor is pretty much all exposed wood. Is the general design, but as a very well maintained, high class rugs along the floor and hallways. After a short while, Laurel returns and she goes, presenting Lord Hakan Taryn and Lady Aurelia Taryn. And coming around the corner, you see the tall man presented in the portrait. A little older than he's shown in that portrait. Kind of some of that sandy brown hair started to go a little bit ginger or grey in places. Still wearing a very similar military style outfit. And alongside him, you assume to be Nyah's mother, wearing a lovely floor-length dress of pale blue and cream. Her long blonde hair is plaited neatly over her left shoulder, and there is a withheld look of both joy and surprise on her face upon seeing her daughter return. Are you? And she loses all level of decorum quite quickly and quickly steps across the hallway to like grab hold of Nyah by the hands and like hold her close. You've changed. Welcome home.
Very late like now, my mother.
I see you've kept up the teachings I've given you, although the outfit choice is a little less ladylike.
I'll give her a hug.
She pulls you in close. She is slightly shorter than you. You do have an element of your dad's height. And she just kind of pulls you in tight before releasing you. And she's standing there and she is taking in the eyes and she's thinking better of mentioning it for now. But you can tell on her face she wants to talk about it. Your father then speaks up from across the room. Well, where you been for 2 years then?
It's a long story.
Well,
Sure.
I'm all one for long stories, so we got a bit of time till dinner. What you say we all settle down and catch up? Well, I suppose first of all, introductions are in order, and he motions to the rest of you. We've already met Master Indolin here. Turns out he wasn't quite so. Apparently was quite an honest man when he turned up here. I apologise for any unforedue.
I understand and respect your hesitancy.
Yeah, it's gracious at least. The rest of you, I haven't met you before, but I assume by your accompaniment of my daughter, you must be fine fellows. May I have your names?
Balthazar.
Is there a surname to go with that, or is it just Balthazar?
Just Balthazar. I have a clan. Clan Norixius.
Very well.
An elbow.
Rambear.
He straightens his jacket slightly as the bear talks. He goes, I don't believe I've met one of your kind before. You are quite impressive, and it seems our daughter finds impressive people.
Is an impressive person.
And he then turns to the last person who has not introduced themselves.
Thrungi pulls out his beer, purposely takes a really long sip, and then replies, Thrungi.
Nyah, up close, you see your mother gives a pretty disdainful look at the brashness of the dwarf and demeanour, and kind of gives you a side eye along the lines of, really?
By the way, Thrungi, I just wish to point out of hours that Thrungi has done this on purpose.
I'm sure he
this
has.
Normally acts, he's done it.
Well, it's lovely to meet all of you, but enough standing around here. Let's go enjoy a drink. You must have all travelled quite far to be here, so I imagine food, drink would be welcome. He shows you to a living area, kind of a few bookshelves on the walls, nothing excessive. Like a few kind of sitting couches. No stuffed animals. But there are a number of paintings, not of family, but of horses, of landscapes, of Adhelm, that kind of thing in here. A candlelit chandelier gives the room plenty of light, along to go with the open, large windows that feed into this room. You settle down. He and his wife sit on a couch together. And Laurel heads off to go acquire some drinks. He comes back relatively quickly with a small array of classier drinks, a couple of bottles of wine. There is a bottle of brandy as well, and begins to kind of just fill up a few glasses of each before presenting them about the room for each of you to take your fancy.
Does this room have a bearskin rug?
It does not. You're insightful enough. These people don't feel like hunters. They are horse rearers, and cattle people more than anything.
Ranch people.
Yeah, literally.
This explains Nyah's horse thing. Whole horse girl vibe.
Your mother signals for you to sit down, not next to her, but on the chair next to her, essentially. She'd like to have you quite close. Darling, where have you been, in all honesty? You left in rather dramatic fashion. And I've waited for you to come home for a long time now, and I think I'm due an answer of some kind.
I'm really sorry for the way I left. The life you wanted for me, it just, I couldn't make myself fit into it. And I ran. And I know I shouldn't have. I know I probably disgraced you in doing so. I see that now. But at the time, I didn't see any other way out. I live a life of my own.
I do see that, but it would have nice to have heard from you during this time. You seem to have made something of yourself, and we have heard nothing of this until you've arrived.
I didn't think you could forgive me.
I won't lie. I had a vision for what you would become, and I did my best to educate you in the matters of such things, and teach you the ways to navigate certain aspects of our lives. I guess I thought it was best. I mean, classically, Jasper would have taken over the household, and you would have had to find something else to make do with in your life. And, well, I thought what I made of it was something you would have found worthwhile too.
Can make myself do it. I'm sorry.
I can only suggest, I suppose. It is your life after all. If anything, I'm glad you at least have come home. I've missed you. So, tell me, what have you been up to in the 2 years? You clearly have changed somewhat.
Well, when I left, I wasn't really sure what to do or where to go. So, do you remember? Well, you didn't know I used to read them, but father, you know the stories I used to read in the library, really ancient legends.
Yes. The number of times I found you in my study, asleep, surrounded by those tales of legend.
Well, I decided to look for the fate. And she's not just a story. She does exist. I found her.
Okay. I suppose. If that's true. How did you find her? I mean, I've never heard of such a god myself.
I was in a way she also found me because I got lucky with wandering around and walking about. But I thought maybe she would be able to change my path if needed to purpose. So, she welcomed me on as her champion. And she's, well, I can do things now that I couldn't do before. She lends me her power, and in return, I keep a sort of balance in the world, helping dear fate. That's what the changes are. They were not voluntarily. I wouldn't have done them on purpose.
Nyah left home and found God.
Even then.
Your mother looks you up and down a second. Goes, well, that's pleasant to hear. That this is in service to something, I suppose. Not exactly how I taught you to look after your hair. We can brush that out, I suppose, while you're here. Your room is still made up. It was waiting for you to come back. We've kept it there for you. I'm not sure how long you were planning on staying, but if you were here for any period of time, it is there. Come now. They don't want to talk about that. It's still afternoon. They've been travelling. It's not time for talk of sleep just yet. I get the feeling discovering your fate was just the start of things. And you haven't yet mentioned how you came across these fine fellows that you seem to be travelling with, or meeting up with in the case of Master Faendal.
Yes. Well, on one of my missions to stay with Fate, I came across them and we had to work together. And, well, they are a strange group to look at. But they are fine individuals. Rambear has been my eyes on many occasions. Balthazar has seen, and probably the reason why I still respect my etiquette for that. And Dragonborn. Faendal is well, he's old and wise. He's of good breeding. He's a noble thought himself. Well, he had a very high position, a very impressive library. And Thrungi is the best warrior I have ever met. You see him fight that, you know.
That is a tall order, Master Dwarf. You claim to be the best fighter that my daughter has ever seen?
Those are her words. I haven't found something that can kill me yet, though.
I suppose that is a good thing for most warriors.
Well, you know the guild, Father?
I'm aware of it. We've sent a few horses their way in the past, indeed.
I'm a member now. We all are. In fact, we're one of their VIP top groups. So they send us out on special missions. And, well, that's what we're currently facing now. It's the biggest thing the guild has ever faced. And it's falling on our shoulders.
Your father was kind of sipping on a glass of brandy at the point you said you joined the guild. And he kind of stopped mid-sip and gently put the glass down. And kind of looked you all up and down. My opinions on the guild are, I suppose you could say, neutral. And certainly didn't wish of either of my children to spend any time with them. I feel, while they do some good in this world, they are a little unorthodox in their measures. And can be a bit prone to reckless action, if you ask me. But they do good service in the world, I suppose. And at least if my daughter is there, someone's got a good head on their shoulders and keeping them on the straight and narrow. I sincerely hope, anyway. Speaking of my children, you probably have noticed at this point that Jasper is not around. In fact, he left at the homestead a couple of months after you did. He was awaiting your return, and when you didn't, he set it upon himself to go find you. Seeing that, I guess you found us first, have you run into him at all in any of your adventures?
I did, actually. Don't know how to say this. He found me not long after I left. And I then left because I was, doing things with Goddess, and then we met. And I'm forgetting the date. He died, but I could not bring his body back.
Roll me a deception check.
I'll say.
Dirty 20.
We roll insight.
If you want to roll insight, you can.
No, not one.
Balthazar,
Just,
Balthazar, with your passive, you're aware she's holding something back from the conversation. She's not outright telling a falsehood. There's falsehood within what she's saying.
And I was gonna just, she's like, she can't hold the tea in the dark, so she's like, right. Like, I didn't know. Couldn't come back after that. I knew it would break your hearts. And it's my fault that he left, chased after me, and there's nothing I could do.
At this point, you can see your mother has similar tears in her eyes at this point. That she is desperately trying to kind of hold back. Because this close up, and you know your mother, you can tell she has been, what's the phrasing? Of the
Holding up.
steadfast belief that both of you are alive and perfectly well and just taking your time to get back. And when you returned, and Faendal mentioned that you were essentially confirmed that you were alive, it kind of concreted her opinion that both of you are fine. And she is now trying to process a jubilant mood with the worst news she's ever heard. And she goes basically into shock silence. And is just holding one of your hands with a pretty icy death grip. Hakan speaks up. How you claimed you were there. What took him from this world?
There's no words that can describe it accurately. It was the workings of fate. It should be him returning home, not just perhaps why I could not make myself return.
You can see him kind of... There's an anger welling up in him that he's doing well to control. Talk of fate implies an existence that we are not in control with, and I have never accepted such fallacy in my home or my life, and I do not intend to start now. Nyah, what are you not telling me?
You not believe in fate, that it is not what I'm bound to.
You have your beliefs. I have mine.
Or that I can say, other than it should be him returning.
Well, in that case, this goddess of yours better have a damn good reason that one of my children won't return. If you'll excuse us. If you have desire to stay, you are welcome guests of this house as close personal friends of my family. The guest wing is made available to you, but I believe the two of us are going to retire for a short while. And he steps up, takes your mother's hand out of yours, and begins to lead her away from all of you and take her upstairs to where you know the family rooms are, specifically their kind of master suite. And you are left in the living room.
I'll put a glass of wine into Nyah's hand. I'm sorry, I did not realise quite how much pain this would cause.
You should have asked. I'll put the glass of wine down. We're resting, then we're leaving. Back to the guild. I'm gonna storm off. I'm gonna go to my room and just.
The children's wing of the household has 5 bedrooms. You and your brothers were opposite each other in the hallway, so you pass by his room on the way into yours.
I'll walk into his room, like carefully, make sure no one's there.
There's no one there. There's no lights lit in there. The curtains are drawn, but it's well made up, ready for if he ever turned up. His room would be ready for him, neatly ordered, dust-free.
I will kneel by his bed, crying. She's got a small necklace that she's been keeping. She used to belong to him, that she took from his corpse. She's gonna lay it on his pillow and just. Oh, sorry, Jasper. Should have been you. Oh, I'm so sorry. I wish I could go back and change things. Do things differently. I'm so sorry that you can't. Please forgive me. I'm gonna make sure that my entire life makes it up to you. I'll do the good that you would have done in my place. And then she'll quietly.
Like, and then she'll do this. Alright.
And then she'll quietly get up. Go to my room.
Your room's in a similar state. Exactly the way it would have been when you were here 2 years ago. The rest of you. Laurel turns back up. And just, if you would like to be shown to the guest wing, please follow me, or I can return in a little short while.
Let's go and put our stuff down.
Let's get ourselves settled. Should we follow Nyah? We find her?
You are directed to a separate wing of the house. You do not find Nyah there at all.
That's not what I meant.
Sorry.
Yeah. Should we
Is it-
come for her?
Probably leave her space until, I don't know, dinner or something.
I think we should find her before dinner, before she has to see her parents.
Yeah.
Maybe she could do with a few minutes herself.
Get ourselves settled. And then we'll find her afterwards.
Maybe we could discuss when we see her why came here. What in Helm are you seeking?
You say you want to discuss that later on with her.
We should probably discuss it with Nyah, unless you think it would make her angry.
Well, potentially. Maybe I'll discuss it with you guys first and we'll see how she reacts. Look how you guys react. Should we get settled first? then we can convene. Then we'll go find Nyah.
The Laurel leads you to one of the wings of the house. It's on the western side. There is a large living area, very similar to the one you've just been in. A couple of lounging sofas and a small bookshelf of kind of fiction works, specifically. Laurel also informs you that there are 4 bedrooms in this wing. There's one on each side downstairs, and then there is a mezzanine with matching bedrooms, top and bottom. Each bedroom can hold 2 people, but if you wish to have a bedroom each to yourselves, you are more than able to. They're not expecting any other guests at this time, and you can spread out amongst the guest wing as you wish. And then he leaves you to what you wish to do.
Buzz either going into the same room as Thrungi or next to Thrungi, because now they can't sleep without the sound of his snore.
What?
It's up to you. Just let me know who's going on what room.
I actually haven't had a good room in a while.
I imagine that while we were away, Faendal was like, no expense spared. I'm having like a travelling yurt with me everywhere I go.
No, Faendal spent one night in the guild and then ran off on an adventure.
No, you were there 3 days.
I was there for 3 days, yeah.
However, he was only there for one night that he remembers.
Yeah, the rest were spent reading a book and making his intelligence 20 fucking 2.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
22?
I got 22 intelligence plus 6.
Little
My
man.
eye is a plus 16.
Mental.
So, yeah. Passive 21 investigation. That's great. Love it.
Yeah.
Love in life.
I didn't get anything. We got purple-eyed Nyah. Actually, Nyah's got dark vision. That's quite a lot.
It's a big deal.
I was
He's
planning
only
on it.
probably taken over by a fucking demon.
I was planning on getting gifts and stuff, but then I ran out of time. I just ended up, I spent a day in the city of Bearfolk, and then was on a boat, and then I was in a cave, and then I was at Vethrian's, and then it went crazy. I was going to go see a lot of people. Anyway,
Remind me. Before we parted ways, you actually gave out a lot of stuff. Anything you'd like back? For instance, I have your Staff of Protection, which I never attuned to. A bad person.
I can have it back. It was just in case you wanted it.
Shared it. You can have it back. Nothing happened to us. It worked.
Cool.
I will say, just above the table, Nyah's going to have an attunement slot open.
Oh, for reals? Oh, wait.
Well, currently she's attuned to 2 swords, and I don't think she needs the other one anymore.
Yeah, she had one that was cursed. She can get rid of the Wayfinder.
Maybe Rambear will still give this to Faendal. With this new knowledge. Could make an okay peace offering.
It was more just a comment of, if you have any attuned magical items that none of the rest of you are using, there's someone who could use one.
That's a good point.
The hook might be good for Nyah. I don't know if Thrungi wants to keep it. It's a charisma-based ability.
Yes, however, when you do it, you have to be at disadvantage to attack.
I mean, Nyah has the same to hit bonus as you.
Yes, but I can get a flat roll.
True.
Because I can go reckless and negate the disadvantage. So yes, Nyah would be better for the charisma check. But she's running at disadvantage.
Look at my things.
So Sarah,
I've got
above Nyah, if Sarah's rolling at disadvantage, she's rolling 1s and 2s. She doesn't go small with these rolls. The minimum.
The only things I've got are a cloak and a staff. Either of them are suitable for Nyah.
Yeah, she's got a cloak already.
It's something we can discuss before we get there.
Yes. In the meantime, we all pack up. Should we go Are we going to meet in someone's room to discuss?
You have
We'll
the
just
living
call it
room all to
the same room
yourselves,
now.
just to be clear,
That's
so you
what
can go
it's
there.
Hmm?
Just so I know, what room is each person in? You've got 2 upstairs,
matter?
2 downstairs. It might come up, that's
Keep
all.
pushing this.
Because sometimes I need to know who's going into what room and whether people are upstairs or downstairs.
They're traps. We search for traps.
You're more than what. Roll an investigation check if you want.
Thrungi
Oh,
now
passive
steps
20.
closest to the door,
Passive 21
Close.
investigation.
right into the wing.
They're both equidistant. It's designed like that, but you're in a downstairs one.
Should we all just get into one room?
I think so.
Each room is designed for 2 people max.
That's 2 people with 2 humanoids and a dragon and a bear.
It doesn't need a bed.
Dragon
She
and
is a
bear
bed.
are both quite large. Thrungi's heavy as shit.
Bear will sleep on the floor.
That's it. The
I
bear
think
is
we're
the
gonna have
bed.
2 beds together just for him, like the width of his shoulders.
I will say the living room does have a fireplace if that is at all amenable to Rambear's sleeping patterns.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Rambear's face down on the floor, mouth open, in front of the fireplace.
Pretend him to be a rug. That could be quite funny.
That rug life.
Well, I'll take an upstairs room.
Knew you would.
I like a
That's
view.
towers. What can he say?
Like a view, like a tower. I can fly anyway if needs be.
Mm-hmm. Balthazar.
I'll take an upstairs room as well.
Okay.
Is Rambear taking downstairs or is she taking the living room?
Living room. Yes.
Living room.
Is it close enough to Thrungi's snoring?
I mean, there's a wall and a door. If you left the door open, it might help, but it's up to Thrungi.
Rambear can keep their stuff in. Actually, she's probably just keeping. They're probably just keeping the one about it.
What stuff?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, what stuff? You got a bag of holding. It's got everything.
Traveling case. Hat collection.
Oh, there's a hat collection. I've got a hat collection.
You do have a little hat collection.
You get a hat collection.
Anyway,
It's currently wearing the beret.
Oh.
Straight around the place in a purple beret. Anyway, shall we meet back in the living room then?
the 4 of you
Oh,
meet
man.
back up in the communal space. Might be a while yet before Nyah is willing to join, but Nyah, you would know they would have been shown to the guest room, so if at any point you wish to turn up, feel free.
So, Balthazar said something kind of alarming earlier
Really?
about the,
Oh yeah. Just out of character, Faendal can't feel the orbs anymore, can he?
No,
That was
I
a
don't
whole
know
thing.
if you know that. 'Cause it kind of waxed and waned and then, like, while up in a way.
Shit happened in that cave. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
And I'm reasons why. Things, yeah. Faendal had moments with himself. That sounded really bad. No. Faendal had some, like, introspection.
You know what? Good for you, old man. Still going strong.
time for himself. We get it. You need a room to yourself. Okay.
Alright.
Not for the orbs.
Yeah, the orbs. I'm pretty sure Zenidus has all 5 of the orbs that we don't have. When we were traveling here, I felt the orbs move north, and then the 6th one appear, and then they all moved south.
Oh no. I cannot feel them anymore. I do not feel their presence. I did not realise they were getting to the one. We thought there might be one in the north. I was still working with the assumption they didn't have it.
That's what the assumption we were working on too. But it was overnight.
Be happy then, because Adhelm was the reason I chose Adhelm was one of the reasons was because we might want to go north. And now I see no reason.
They've all been taken south. Okay, then I think I can feel them pretty much exactly where they used to be.
Roll perception.
Southeast
So like,
from here.
From
Southeast
here,
or
it would be basically straight south from that
Yeah,
where that
because
point was.
we've gone west quite a long way.
You've headed west. You're on the west side of the country now.
Is it a straight line through the citadel as well?
No, Citadel's more eastern side because it's
Okay,
close. It's
so
closer to Forlond.
It's definitely still in line with the desert.
What was the roll, Stephen?
Rolled 22, was it? For your perception.
Uh,
No.
22 and an 18 is what I can see in the history. I can't remember which was which.
22 and an 18. Yeah, from... No, it would still be southeast from you. So what was the total?
22
22?
was, I think, the perception.
Yeah,
for it.
southeast. It's not like it's...
Okay.
It's not like it's at the Citadel. That would be more southwest. That would be southeast from you. They're currently southwest kind of region.
Southwest or south or southwest?
They're at 7. Wow.
Yeah, 7, 6:30. It's pretty close.
Southwest.
While the citadel is like 4.
But yeah, exactly.
Well, we are safe at the moment, then they are still building up. Alright.
They're very
I-
powerful now.
Did a lot of reading while you guys were away. Read this really good self-help guide that just like cleared my thoughts and in my mind. I just feel like a lot more intelligent now. So it's like, you know, it was like all about well-being and meditation. It's like, yeah, it was great. 3 days reading that non-stop. I now feel like one of the most intelligent people on the planet.
Chris, just because I know this is going to be actually massive lore drop, make sure he's talking into the mic properly so everyone hears.
Yeah. I read a self-help book, and that was good. It was all about clearing your thoughts, and it made me more intelligent. And then I read the Serentine. And I read them alone for a bit, struggled, so one of the reasons I went to Bethrian, as well as just we owed him our tale, you know, because that was what we paid him in, our tale, for helping us. So I went back, I told him what we had done on the island, and he helped me decipher the Serentine. And I've read a lot. They are difficult books. She was a genius, beyond anything I've ever met. It literally hurt me, physically hurt me to read them at first. I rolled a nat 1, I think. I took a point of damage from a migraine when I first tried to read them, so that was fun. Destroying the spheres is possible. A god would potentially be able to. Whether they would, that's difficult. That would not destroy them fully. We already sort of know that if they were destroyed on the material plane, they would just be sent back to where they came from, where Abaddon came from. They are a piece of him. They cannot be destroyed on this plane. We would have to destroy them in the abyss. We could break them on a material plane using a weapon of divine magic. Powerful divine magic weapon from a god. But that would, just banish it back to the abyss, possibly. And who knows what would happen then. She decided it was too risky and scattered them and hid them. What we can do. The issue now, and the ill tidings I had, were that they are a piece of him. They are not items. They are a part of his being. I do not believe that it would be he would need all 6 of them to summon a Baron. I think Xenodis could do it with fewer. It would be harder with less, but I worry that he could do it with far fewer than just 6. And now you say he has 5. It would having all 6. I don't know would make enough of a difference for it to be worth him fighting the whole guild for. So, well, I told you because I don't know what to do next. We could go and protect the guild, make sure he doesn't get that last sphere, but he has 5 already. He might just be able to walk into the citadel and just take it. Or would he risk that? Would he fight the guild? Would he go straight to doing the ritual to summon the Baron? It might take him longer, but he might go straight to doing that, and then we wait around the guilds for him to destroy the world. I don't know. Bethrian figured play the odds, protect the guild, make sure he's still on 5 orbs rather than 6. 5 spheres rather than 6. But if we can cut him off, maybe go straight to where the ritual is held. Defeat him. I don't know.
So, spheres can be destroyed, but it's too late because he might be able to complete the ritual without it, the last one.
I think yeah, he might be able to complete it without the last one. I mean, destroying a sphere or 2 might delay him because that would throw it into the abyss. He's not in the abyss. But yeah, he could still perform the ritual.
Can we contact the guild to warn them, just in case? Sending work. How does sending work?
I can send my courier. I sent you a courier. It's a bit
I'll
of
send
an
that guy again.
expensive service. Like it costs 25 gold pieces for me to send him to you.
Pay more.
But it's-
Get a better one. Get a nicer one.
Way better. Why? What?
It was very rude.
Well, did you tip him?
Balthazar tipped him.
How much? It's a bird that can travel the continent in a second. It's expensive, but it's a good service. Like they generally speaking, the peacocks expect a 20% tip. So 5 gold pieces.
You're meant to pay the tip.
I paid 25 gold pieces.
It should include the tip.
Right.
You're not
Also-
paying your little messenger a living salary.
Paid him 25 gold pieces, which is more than they normally expect. Did you not tip? Did you not tip?
I tipped him a silver because
A
I don't know
silver?
how much birds need.
We are exceeding wealthy. I have 2,500 gold pieces. Can you not afford 5 gold pieces?
I didn't know how much he wanted. I thought he was just after a shiny coin.
20% tip is standard.
Not when you don't realise that the bird knows it wants a tip. Or we had any inkling that we were meant to tip.
Oh,
You should have written it in the note.
It carries a tip bag on the back. I thought it was obvious. Like, would you not tip a waiter?
Where I come from, pay our messengers a living wage so that they don't need to be tipped.
The peacock gets paid 25 times the living wage.
Okay, boomer.
Well, not if they need a tip in addition, and are quite annoyed about it. Can you not see the scratches on Balthazar's legs? He was really bleeding. He had to cast cure wounds on himself after that bird.
I just think it's very difficult. They do a very extreme. Like the guild messenger birds are all right, but they take like days to travel the continent. This bird travels the continent in a second.
Okay.
It was
I
very
think-
rude.
More than serving. It does a hard job. Can you travel the continent in a second?
No, it takes me a few hours. You're right. You're right.
Yes, can the bird survive my axe in its head if it annoys me?
Yes, it can. It's technically immune to all damage.
Don't we send this to go get an orb?
It can also deal no damage.
Oh, God.
Hey, just wandering through like the angry goose. Rah, rah, rah.
But I sent the courier to
No, I do
Faendal.
you
Not-
also come bearing some bad news. What's about your bird, your asshole bird? We found Vent. You know about
Found
the
Vent?
leave with us?
You know, Ben was great. I liked Ben. He was a good man.
Yeah,
Well, he was a bit.
I'm glad you used the past tense then.
What?
Said you liked Vent.
We basically
we-
found his face and maybe a finger.
He was
Definitely
missing.
found a finger.
He was missing his head anyway. Like it was all gone.
No, we found his literal face, like just the skin,
Plate.
just the face.
I
Was
was surprised with him.
I'm glad we
But when
spared you of this.
we were together,
It's okay. It's okay. I have his finger. And I have a spell. I might need some money, and you were bragging about how much money you have.
How much money?
You
do
reminded
need?
me that I have our friend's finger in our bag of colding.
I spent 10,000 gold on a book, so I'm not sure I'm really as much loaded as you think. How much gold do you need?
Another 800 gold. I have it, but it'd be nice if we could all...
I mean, surely we can all chip in. Everyone liked Ben, right? He was a good person. No dodgy history about anything, right?
No, I don't think so. He seemed to really like...
Just like
Yeah, he...
Rambear, roll
Yeah.
deception.
Rambear doesn't think he did anything bad.
You were actively told he was a serial killer.
That's not... depending on who you...
When did we get told that he was a serial killer?
The only werewolf
You
serial
didn't.
You weren't. The rest of them were.
But what's his name? Jacques?
Jean
Oh.
de Arquebus.
Oh yeah, Hugh's character.
Yeah.
Why do I have to roll deception?
Because you are lying.
Where
I'm lying, really.
where did
It's a
Vent come
10.
from, or where was Vent's bounty from?
Yaqui. The
Right.
place you're kind of not allowed to be.
We're not liked in Yarkui.
No, you're not. Well, one of you's not.
None of us are. We're in this together.
Okay, fair.
I think to be fair, Balthazar destroyed their main bridge at the north.
That's a valid point.
Yeah,
we all
I
chipped
might have
in.
to help them rebuild if it's not already been built.
Have you taken Mold Earth, Stone Shape, anything like that?
No, I could
That was
do.
literally like 4 months ago.
Yeah,
Has it only been that? I thought we spent longer in the
4 or
desert.
5 months. You spent no, you might have spent 2 months in the desert. It's at least a month and a half.
We've not been a team for a year, have we?
Yeah.
Like 9 months.
No, you have, because you did spend 6 months training with the guild. You haven't been a guild member for a year.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, what was the deception check?
It was a 10, but I actually don't have that long. I only got 10 days from when we found his.
Yeah, you're currently... Well, you don't actually know. I don't think you
Assuming
ever
he
figured out.
dead for so long. But I'm
Yep.
thinking. At the end of the day,
I do have a count on it. I will tell you that.
Oh, you don't have very long to do it. What do you need to buy?
I need more fancy oils.
I don't think I have
Specific oils worth 1,000 GP.
specific oils to the spell as well.
Yeah, hard to come by.
Even if I have oils, it has to be. Can't just be random oils.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So he wasn't a good guy, because I can see in your face that you felt uncomfortable when I said he was a good guy.
I
Unless
think
you.
he was a great guy.
What
This
did you roll?
happened. I rolled a 10. You definitely.
Have to thank you. I can't roll a 10.
I mean,
we learned he has a bounty on him from Yargui.
We probably do as well. You know,
have a
I'll be
bounty
honest. We've all got murky histories. You know. Yeah. What did
Does
you
that mean that we don't deserve a second shot at life?
do? Yeah. What did you
Especially,
do?
there was like a little bit of. There's a little bit of serial killing.
Like
A little bit. Like a
What?
small amount.
malicious Oh, no, like criminals and murderers and stuff like that.
It was never made very clear. It was
Oh.
specifically bad people that he killed. It was never made clear the exact number. Serial could just mean 2, right? Maybe 3.
Serial
Maybe
means
they
3 or more.
Maybe they deserved it.
Exactly. And Ven has saved our lives.
But we've all killed people, right? Like,
Well,
we've all killed lots of people.
We haven't killed anyone in cold blood. They were trying to kill us first.
Yeah. Yeah, we've...
I mean,
no, I think we.
okay, he was trying to kill you first. That's fair. Never mind.
Yeah.
I have never killed anyone in cold blood. Ever.
Deception
Yeah,
check.
but we don't know that he was
Roll
killing
insight,
people in
bro.
cold blood.
Hmm?
Ooh, interesting.
Insight.
Faendal, you can roll deception if you want.
I got a 19.
I rolled a 19, I beat it. Oh, I nearly got a nat 20. 18.
He's got his own murky past. You're sure of that?
I'm an old man.
Very old man.
Don't think.
Oh. Regardless of, we don't have a right because if we can do this spell, then I think that we should, because we don't get to choose what lives and dies and then comes back to life afterwards.
Here is 800 gold.
We very much do get to decide that.
I will give you 800 gold. Make sure you bring him back. If you fail, I would like it back, please.
Ooh, no takesies backsies. No, okay, of course. Of course. I think that's everything from our end. The big stuff.
We were talking about contacting the guild. I can contact the guild with my courier. If we want. I can send him off, send a message to Fidelis. Oh, I'm so proud I remember his name. We can send a message to Fidelis. I can send my courier with a note. Because sending has a limited amount of space, and I can put a full letter and he can put it back.
Is Sedana with the guild? Actually,
As far as you know, yeah. She had a guild symbol on her when you met her originally.
maybe we should also inform her.
You
in
have
case she's
never
like-
seen her around the guild, though. Never around the
But
city.
maybe we could inform her also, in case she
I
bumps
do-
into other people.
I do worry with the guild though. Last time we were there, they were off dealing with another world-ending threat.
What were they doing the last time we were there?
There are dragons under the mountains apparently. Like hundreds and hundreds of dragons. Something.
Couple of dozen.
Maybe an exaggeration.
Couple of
There
dozen.
were
It's
lots.
like I'd remember that if that.
It was definitely the case. The majority of the guild strength had gone underneath the Stormfang Mountains to deal with a recurrence of dragons that may or may not hold a grudge against the guild for things a couple of millennia ago.
2 world-ending threats at the same time. Not great.
What are the odds?
Well, the
So
odds.
the guild, 3 bare bones. So it might be worth going back to defending them. Otherwise, I don't know where the ritual. I don't know what the ritual entails for him to stop the Abaddon, but I would hazard a guess that it's probably in the Abaddon waste again.
Would we
You still have the texts if you wanted to do more research
Still
on
have
it.
the
It may
text to read
contain
them.
stuff on there.
Tonight, if when we rest tonight, I can take some time to read through to see if Taryn knew anything about the ritual itself.
then?
Mm-hmm.
You know the scrying spell.
Yeah, I know it's a scrying spell. It's a good spell.
Spell. Interesting spell. Does the target know if you've tried to scry on them?
If they have true sight.
If they have true sight, if you successfully cast it, because it summons a
Tiny.
incorporeal camera.
Yeah.
I
So they
don't
can
think
just
I
see it.
don't think they know if they succeed.
No, if
Yeah,
it
it's
succeeds,
just on a successful save, they're unaffected, and you can't try against them for another day.
So you'll never know unless they fail and they have true sight.
Oh yeah, a creature that can see invisible objects sees the
On the
sensor.
other
as a luminous
hand,
orb.
He has a fear of anti-magic.
So what now?
He has what was it called?
Oh
Neutral
shit,
fear.
son, yeah.
I don't know whether it would affect him the same way. It might be like fuzzy, like pixelated, and like it's being jammed. Try to scry, and it's just in like 180p.
I also suspect he's much wiser than I am, so would probably not have any issues passing this.
I don't know about how wise he is. He's trying to cause the end of the world.
That's a could be an intelligence thing. Maybe it would be helpful to see if it looks like he's to try and see what his next steps are.
I could speedy courier it to him asking for his immediate surrender.
Speedy courier, like, what are you up to?
Just have a immortal, invulnerable peacock come up and peck him until he answers.
You just like, it's just something like anonymous hate mail.
You just use all my 4th level spell slots, just like spamming him.
Spam mail.
You could send so much inconvenient stuff. You could subscribe. Oh my god, you could send the bird to other places and subscribe him to like magazines he doesn't want.
There is the thing of the moment he knows the content. Like Nyah saw the letter, he'll be able to see what's inside it. I can't surprise him. Otherwise, I could maybe like store a bead of force in there and then like get the peacock there and then a black hole appears in front of him.
Oh, that'd be cute.
It doesn't work like that.
How small is the opening? And how quickly does your bird travel?
The bird's instantaneous.
Do you put anything in that little?
It's a small chest.
Would a bunch
I
of
think
bees fit in there?
I think
Swarm
it
of
does have
bees?
a swarm of bees would.
Would a bear just who's wild shaped
He-
into a swarm of bees fit in the
can-
chest?
He will know what's in it and can choose to just not open it. So I can't surprise him with stuff. It was a fun thought experiment, though.
Can
Just
you?
awesome.
No, for real. Can you instantaneously use it to teleport things? If I transformed us all into
Oh,
Here's a question. Can
that I
you
didn't know.
put these where he has to put the
No,
the thing, the extra
I
money?
am wondering now. Can I, if you polymorph all, can I just? It's 3 feet on each side. The thing fits.
shit, that's massive.
Can deposit as many items as fit in the chest.
I'm gonna say one element to this that I'm just having read it that I find quite interesting. For this circumstance,
It's
the
almost-
target can return the items to you. Now, if
Yeah.
you're inside it, that creates a wormhole.
That's really funny. I assume it
And
would
you
return
lot
to the
may
spot.
end up in the astral sea.
I would assume that it would return to the spot.
No, it says returns to you, and therefore it's a bag of holding situation.
Can you put a swarm of bees in the tip jar?
I am gonna say, as inventive and funny as a use for this spell it is, I am gonna say you can't do it. It takes the limit of the spell a bit far.
For 25 gold, I don't know.
Speedy courier also, if he's proofed against detection or location, I can't get to him. So we'll see. But anyway, we can send a letter to Videlis,
Yes.
and then he can write back to us, and we can see the state of the guild, how urgent getting back would be, and stuff like that. What his opinion is. Vethrian thought it very wise to go to the guild and protect the sphere that's there currently. now that I'm free of their influence, I think that it's probably best not to use the sphere, but it's a potential. But I don't think it had a healthy control over me. I don't know how you feel, Balthazar. You
It
were
still
dealing with it
has,
less than I were.
yeah, it still has an effect on my dreams, and I can still sense them, so I'm still under some influence.
Yeah, it's not fun. I know that. Yeah. Yeah. I was unaware that you could fly quite so fast now and turn into a cloud, or else maybe I would have just gone to the guild. I thought that this was quicker and I could teleport us to the guild rather than you spending days traveling.
Hey.
Right. Very impressed with your clouds.
Thank you. And also, I can't teleport, but I can do some other things. No, I'm sure you've seen.
You
Sure,
can
you've
walk
seen.
through. No, because you did the first dark cloud on the tower after I
Oh,
had said,
yeah.
like immediately after I had said bye to you.
Oh, shit, that's right. Oh,
But I've never seen Black Cloud. I have another new spell, but I'm not using it. I need Nyah around for her to see it. But that's fine.
Speaking of
Anyway.
Nyah, what are you up
Yeah.
to? Are you...
Solving still.
I mean, a lot of people just straight away fall asleep after something like that. So she made it asleep, but I don't know. I want to check in.
So after like a long while, I'll just like sneak out and go to the stables, because that usually helps to be in my mind. So I'll just be in the stables, and I'll give all the horses a grooming treatment for the sake of me not thinking.
While you are there, you run into the stable hand, who you don't recognise. This is someone who was brought in to the family after you had left. In in-game chat, there is an image of them. Just being uploaded now. A rather burly, relatively young half-orc woman with long blonde hair, covered in kind of dirt, leather apron. You estimate around your age, possibly a little younger. And she's just in there taking care of a brown horse akin to the northern provinces, and just kind of gently stroking it. Stefan, you seem to have had a decent journey. Must be all right though. And it's just like petting it down. Also in here, you find Electo with his Pegasus wings tucked in and his beautiful form.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't think there'd be anyone in the stable.
I was just finishing up for the day. I'm sorry, I don't believe we've met. Name's Jacob.
Nyah.
Get a bit of mud off themselves first. And they kind of do a rather awkward half curtsy, half bow upon realizing who you are.
Please, you don't need to do that. I'm not a lady anymore.
Welcome to stables. I suppose you know it quite well. This guy was brought in by that elf that came through. His name's Stefan. I believe you bought him. I don't know. Are you in here for any... I can leave you to it if you wait. I was just finishing up brushing down the horses.
Yeah, I was just going to check on my horse, Electo.
He's yours. Where'd you find a Pegasus?
Summoned him, actually. Gift from the goddess I serve.
If you don't mind me asking, who's your goddess? That's kind of cool.
God is a fate, but wouldn't recommend jumping onto her service too rashly.
Okay. Well, I'll take what I can get. Decent number of horses here anyway, you know. I'll leave you to it. Just shut up when you're done.
Oh,
And,
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. And they head off. You stay there for a while.
Stay there, grooming the horses, trying to recompose myself.
Oh. Eventually, dinner is served. The four of you, Laurel comes through and mentions that the Lord and Lady would be dining alone this evening. Not in, not with the rest of you. But if you and Nyah would like to eat in the dining hall, dinner will be ready. Nyah, similarly, Orilda, the handmaid that kind of partially raised you, comes and finds you in the stables. She knew where you would be, and lets you know that dinner is being served and if there's anything she can do to help.
That's okay, thank you.
Anytime, love. And she heads back off. You all, well, the four of you, I assume, head to dinner. I'm not sure what Nyah does.
I'll go get some food because I'm hungry. I won't say anything.
You all sit down and have a rather quiet meal. Does anybody want to try and share stuff with Nyah, who is clearly closed off?
Thrungi doesn't. He knows the feeling.
Not in front of the family.
Family out there.
Yes.
Family out there.
No, family are dining alone. It's just
But,
the five
like,
of you.
The house, the staff.
Oh, there are still house staff around. They're serving and stuff like that.
You know, now we're here for you if you need us.
Yeah, it's fine. As I said, we're in a hurry, right? So
It's important that you face this and that you talk about this. Lost family is very important, and I know how damaging it can be. I witnessed my family die, and I could do nothing to stop it. I know how you feel.
I doubt that you do completely Faendal, but thank you. Let's just. What's the plan?
I'm not sure. We haven't fully decided yet. As I told the others, my studies have led me to believe that Zenodis might not need the last sphere, the one hidden in the guild, in order to summon Abaddon. So there are two real choices. We can go back in the guild, make sure he doesn't get that last sphere, or we try and figure out how his ritual works, how he's with the spheres, and try and get ahead of him on that, in case he tries to skip the last sphere.
So it's either go back to the guild and hope the world doesn't end or that he doesn't worse, or go to him.
or go to where we think he will go. My instincts are either that for the ritual, I need to consult the text, and tonight I will consult the text some more. My instincts are either that there's something in the middle of the abandoned waste that he might need to get to perform this ritual, or maybe while the abandoned wastes were one of the great, before they were wasted, were a great paradise. Maybe he needs life and vegetation, in which case he will want to leave the desert. Either way, he will need somewhere to go. So I wouldn't go to him. I don't want to face him in his stronghold. It's either defend the guild or try and get ahead of him. One way we risk losing the sphere, one way we risk losing the world. But then if we lose the sphere and he has all 6, I don't know if we can stop it.
Read your book tonight. I'll try and contact Matuya, and tomorrow morning we'll decide and leave.
I did discover something else. That the spheres could potentially be destroyed. They would not be permanently destroyed. They would be sent to the abyss. But if one of them is sent, that's an inconvenience to him. It just needs the power of a god, or the weapon of a god, at least.
I'll subtly look down at my sword. Not quite a god, but an angel.
Maybe it's powerful divine power. You got the sword fixed then.
Yep.
The powers of an angel reside in it. Very impressive.
Better company than the demon.
Company. Oh, it's an angel itself. It talks. Does it have any wisdom to share?
I will convene with it tonight.
Have you talked to it yet?
Had some light introductions.
You've had this angel being in your sword for how long now? Said hi.
Well, I only recently attuned to it.
Okay.
I would have had time to chit chat, but you summoned us here, Faendal.
Well, I did not. I did not know that you could turn into clouds. So this was the nearest safe haven before the guild. And I could teleport us to the guild. And then you guys turned into clouds and flew here. That's surprised me.
Well, you've been with us when we've turned into clouds.
No, we've gone over this already. It was literally just after I said goodbye to you guys.
Okay, fine.
I didn't know how you were leaving. I just said that I was not coming with you. And then rather than going, I expected you to go to the docks. Instead, you went to a tower and disappeared into the sky. I never saw it.
If we could destroy it fully, we have to get to the astral plane. Astral plane,
The
sorry,
abyss.
the abyss.
The abyss. I do not think any of us want to visit the abyss.
Yeah, we'd have to go there and fight Abaddon.
Demons.
Because it's bits of him.
I wouldn't have to fight Abaddon. Abaddon's banished from loads of things.
Then
It's just that the abyss.
a divine weapon would be able to destroy it.
Yeah, from this plane it would send it to the abyss.
I'll
Like fire.
give you, based on your research, in the abyss, it's a hunk of stone. Or a hunk
Oh, it
of
doesn't
bone.
have powers.
It's still a magic item, so it will take some doing, but by existing on its own plane, it is not as invulnerable.
I will say as much then. If we can get it to the abyss, we can then. It will be more vulnerable in its own plane. It doesn't have the protection that planar travel offers it. But I don't know where to get to the abyss, so
Like technically have access to plane shift.
you have planes.
Druids get
Have
plane
plane
shift.
shift.
However, there is a key component to plane shift that you don't
Yeah.
have.
You need Well,
True.
they need a
Tuned
tuning.
to a particular plane of
Tuning fork.
forked
Tuned to the
metal rod
abyss.
worth tuned to a particular plane of existence. Does not say the.
It's tuned to the plane that you're trying to
Yeah,
travel
actually.
to. Yeah.
Does the sphere count?
Don't know. Might do.
You could try to. It's risky, but you could try to connect to the sphere and then shift to the abyss. At which point we don't need to destroy it here. We just need to destroy it there. But then we would need to do that with all of the spheres. So it just seems a bit hopeless now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? It feels so good.
If we try and find whatever ritual spot you think we'll need, because I can still sense the spheres, we're at the least have a pre-warning of where Xenodus is if he moves.
Do
This is
we?
why I was suggesting scrying, because even if he knows we're looking at him, it'd be useful to know what he's doing. He might not know it's us.
Um.
Oh, Gethin's eyebrow twitched. Would he know it's us?
No. Wow.
He
He might
gets a
suspect.
guess.
It's not like there's Rambear's signature, which granted is just a bear paw print, on the eye or anything like that.
It's just a glowing.
Yeah, it's just an orb.
I feel like there's only other one person that would scry on him, which is his dad, but like why would he do that?
A good point though.
So
To go and get his dad's help.
I was
Sorry.
going to say.
Stephen's background, the way he moved his hand, it looked like he just flipped someone off and it got blurred out. It's quite funny. Sorry, carry on.
Stop Xenodus, even if it's just a ritual. We might need all the allies we can get. Would it be worth trying to enlist his father?
Do you think his father would fight against his own son?
I don't know, really.
I'll be honest.
Doesn't
He
feel
was
like he's supporting him in an outward way.
a fairly gracious host, but he was a bit. I think he was more complicated than any of us could predict, and I do not know how that would work.
Worth
We
considering.
might need all the help we can get. How many birds can you send out a day?
I've got, and right now I've got enough to do 4 more birds.
Ever?
Hmm?
Ever or today?
No, today I can do 4
Okay.
birds today. It's a 4th level spell.
Okay.
It's slightly
Um,
better.
How many more can you do?
What?
How many 4th level spells do you have at this level?
At the moment I can do it 4 times. I've used spells. I can do it total of 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1, 7 times. I think it might be a bit overkill to use it on a 7th level spell slot.
Yeah, that checks out.
Interestingly, if I got an 8th level spell slot, I could send him to a different plane of existence.
Could send to Abaddon himself.
Yeah, I could just send him.
You like the sphere? You might take it.
I'd just put a note in and be like, Xenodus, can we please have a sphere? Please.
Fight fair!
You want to send a message to Fidelis?
What do we want to say to Fidelis?
Danger is imminent. Yes.
Yeah,
Watch
so
out for armies of the undead.
we send him a letter saying
You can-
this has.
Oh, sorry, carry on.
You're right. Okay, we can say Xenodus has the final sphere. Maybe coming to the guild soon to try and get the last one. Be as prepared as you can. Let us know if you need any assistance. Do we have? I don't know.
We
I don't know.
assist?
I mean, I can teleport us there at some points if we need to. So I can go straight to the guild because I know it's teleportation code. So I don't know how they would contact us. But I don't know what else do we want to tell him.
Use whatever resources they have left to protect the guild.
The orb.
I think they will. I don't know. Do we want to? Are we just going to go to the guild and defend the guild? I'll research the ritual. Or we'll just go to the guild and defend the guild. Then do we need to send the letter? We'll send the letter anyway, warning him.
I think we should send it ahead.
So we'll say we will be returning within a day, within tomorrow, in tomorrow.
Okay.
See, I'm starting to believe that we might be worth meeting to decide on the battle if we can get the guild behind us. And I don't want to use the sphere against him though, but it might be our only choice. Balthazar is pretty more resistant to its effects than I was, so.
You don't want to get his father involved. I feel like it could be funny.
It could be.
It'd be very funny.
Should we send him a letter as well?
Yeah, I think we can just warn him.
Should we just say, hi, your son is going to destroy the world. Would you come fight for us against him?
Yeah. He's
Better worded.
Okay. Anyway, shall we finish off with Fidelis? We'll just say we'll return to the guild.
Yeah, we can return tomorrow.
We will try to return tomorrow.
Very well. You.
Is that it? I summon my peacock. I put my hand out, do a little whistle. A peacock appears. Give it the note in the pouch.
Peacocks are quite large.
Yeah.
Peacock.
Yeah, technically speaking, it's an air elemental.
Okay, it's a small peacock.
So, the spell actually says it's formless, but I don't like that.
It's a peacock.
It's a peacock.
Is your
topic.
what's it called?
I put the note in the thing. Because these guys are useless to show that I'm a generous man. I put 30 gold in the pack. I just look at them very judgingly.
Peacock looks at you and bows graciously.
I don't suppose the staff of protection is collapsible. I can just donate it.
Ask them for oils.
Oh yes, I will put in the main pouch. Then I will put in. Shall we put in 1,000 gold?
Ah.
No, just send the oils back. And if they can't provide them, they can just send the gold back. So in the note we'll add, P.S. Please provide oils for reincarnation. Here's the money. If you can't provide, please return the money.
Okay.
Please.
You do that. 1,000 gold is a lot of volume.
Yeah, 800 gold, actually. I have the
Oh, she's already 200. The bag holds 3 foot by 3 foot, so.
Alright.
Well, I have 40 platinum pieces, so if people give me the gold to make up for it.
That's a big box.
It's a really big box for a peacock.
3 foot by 3 foot.
I'm imagining a little pouch of holding.
Big bag of holding.
1, 2.
Basically a meter cubed.
Yeah, it's a meter cubed.
But a bag of holding.
A ton of water.
If we do some math, what's the diagonal of that cuboid? How big's the diagonal? Can the staff of protection fit in?
I would say based on Yeah, sure. No, because
Priest got
nah, fuck it. Yeah, sure.
1 minute, 1 minute. Priest got 9. So that's 18, square root 18 across the top, the diagonal of the top of the flat. And then so 18 plus 9, 27. Square root of 27. So 8. Diagonal. That's over 5 foot. Over 5 foot. Staff protection. Under 5 foot.
Yeah, 5.2 feet. So yeah, I'd
Not
say count
offering
it.
You're not offering it to Nyah?
9, do you want a staff? It boosts. It doesn't boost your AC. Not for you. It's useless for me. It casts mage armor.
I can still walk without a stick, thank you though.
She also doesn't have the hands for it.
Yeah, that's okay. So I'll put the staff in then. PPS, please donate this to some young mage who will use it.
PPS stuff. Okay, that gets sent off. Very quickly. Yeah, very quickly you get a response back. It's a short wait. It turns out because they were writing something. You get a very short hand letter back from Videlis, along the lines of noted, watch is alerted, party stationed on the vault itself. The gold is returned. In the letter, though, it does specify oils will be waiting for you upon your return, being blessed by clerics, essentially. And the staff is gone.
He's got no complaints about the peacock. Did he is the peacock happy?
Peacock seems content.
So you tipped it well. Good. See, Fidelis knows how to treat,
Magic messengers that we've never seen before.
This is some weird sort of finishing school sort of college.
It's like an Uber service for elementals.
Is there anything else any of you would like to do before you retire for the evening?
We to send a letter to. Shall we send a letter to Zenidis's dad?
If you can tell me his actual name, you can.
Oh God, Baron von. Do I need his first name?
Yes.
Von Razor, isn't it?
Von Race is his surname.
Oh,
Yep.
But there's a lot of Zenidis is upon Racer. Did we ever learn his first name? What was his wife's name?
I have them here. They're in the document. Am I allowed to say them, or is it only Chris who can?
You can. You were all there.
Begins with a C, Chris.
What?
Begins with a C.
His name? Can you not just tell me? Like, Faendal is literally like, I don't remember his name. Do you remember his name?
You've got all your memories back, man.
Fat lot of books worth that book did.
I went from storing a year and a bit's memories to storing 700 years of memories.
Got 1-year-old. Begins with a C.
Team.
Christoph.
Balthazar's remembered it.
Was it Constantine?
Constantine von Racer.
Lord Constantine von Racer.
Constantine von Racer. Okay, so we're writing a letter. Dear Lord Constantine von Racer.
Okay.
Best, missing you. Kiss, kiss. Love, Joe.
What are you sending to?
What are we sending? You can all help me write this letter.
Oh yeah. Wait, did you ever remember? Because he gave you like the weird, nasty wine, and
I really, but it's I've tried it another time.
no, but he also knew your real name, your full name. Did you?
All know, but yeah.
Oh, which we all now know, but he knew it before us. Have you met him before? Went through this, right?
Oh no, yeah. Well,
You did go
I
through
have
this.
my memory.
You do not remember him.
Okay, cool.
He does. He's just powerful. He You know, I'm a famed mage. You know, I'm very prolific. You know, I'm very
My
important.
lord.
Heard of me. You know,
Just Faendal, write something like, "We are aware that Xenodus is your son.
but he's
We want to make you aware, in the unlikely case you do not know, that he is planning on destroying the world. What is your stance, and will you act?"
that's very aggressive.
Straightforward.
Hmm? Get then you muted.
No, I'm not. I was talking very quietly.
I mean,
Bad sign, bad sign.
He's a lord. Surely he'll appreciate some straightforward.
I think he would also appreciate some decorum.
Fine,
I would
it
write
would-
something. Best wishes, kiss, kiss, kiss.
Yours truly. Our names. We did a favor for him.
I would maybe put.
Yours truly would respect the
I-
goats.
I would.
To be
maybe
clear,
put
the
some-
favour you did for him was in payment for trespassing into his country.
Yeah.
He doesn't owe you shit.
There is also the potential, if he's protected from detection or location, this bird might just disappear and leave the letter behind. And he's quite powerful, so he might be protected.
Why don't we send it to our favourite man in the world, Emilio?
There we go. Send Emilio one.
Send it to Emilio.
Way better. Well done, Rambear. You are a
Emilio's
genius.
just such a gent.
Do you want?
And he
Did you have?
maybe got the. I think I got a
Did-
bracelet,
Yeah, you created a gift for Emilio.
gloves. He definitely
Yeah.
got something from us.
No, did you send it already?
Yeah, I sent it when we were at the guild.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I could send it now, but you know,
Oh,
if
that
you want
would
to
have
send,
been nice.
send him another gift.
Unfortunately, we didn't get a second picture of us all. The dwarf.
You know what? I will take the sacrifice. I get to see you all lovely people every
No,
day.
but it doesn't count if it's not got you there. They might think we killed you.
Or I just died of old age.
That's
Um,
more likely.
You know what? Look, we'll send it anyway. I get to see you guys every day. He does not. How sad. He must be very upset. Let's send
You
him.
not like the gift.
I love the gift.
What was it? World's best butler bracelet is what he got from us.
But yeah, let's send Emilio a letter then. We'll go. Dearest Emilio, how are you? Hope you're enjoying your gift. Rambear in particular says warmest of greetings. We have an urgent message for your lord. His son has almost collected everything he needs, and is becoming a great threat. We seek the Lord's assistance on or / wisdom on dealing with this threat. Guidance, if possible. Best wishes. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Everyone's names.
So my message was respectful, but sending the message to his butler rather than him is
Because we'll put a PS. Was unsure if message would reach Lord Constantine, as he's very powerful and I assume would be under many, many protection, as he's a wise and gracious leader.
Amber
He's
takes
not
the
Lenin.
No, if you kiss someone's ass that much, they're not going to take you seriously if they give you anything, Faendal.
The letter is sent.
Oh, wait, before
Wait, we have more stuff.
we have one more thing.
Okay.
I haven't put money in the slot machine.
PPS. Ramber's gonna grab the card and toss it under Balthazar. Can you write? We've enclosed some money, and this is apparently the minimum suitable tip for this bird.
Can we not just tip the bird beforehand?
It seems like
Does
it
it not work
always
like that?
asks for money.
It asks for one afterwards. It always
We
wants
can-
one when it arrives. But for that,
Okay.
you just put the tip in the bag at the front, and then the person receiving the letter can put it in the bed.
All right, I'll add that to the bottom.
Okay,
Tip the bird with the change provided.
done. Added on the bottom very hastily. As Faendal is finishing up casting the spell, and
Whistle. Bird appears. Put the note, gold. Put my gold in the back. It's a really busy bird. So it just went on one message, now it's going on another.
you wait patiently for a reply. Doesn't seem to be one forthcoming immediately.
Okay, it's got 10 minutes. That's fine. All right. Is there anyone else you want to send letters to?
If you have a bird, I guess Thrungi could send word back to the village, explain where we've gone. Maybe also to prepare them. Not that they're going to get visited, but it could be a pretty rough few months.
I think it's probably best if people who have no bearing on the outcome aren't made aware of the potential end of the world. Let them live what might be their last few days in relative peace and ignorant bliss.
I could send a message or call the demon hunter lady.
Sedana.
Do you want to maybe save that? Or maybe prepare her? Yeah. Do you want to send her a message letting her know we might need her assistance soon for something very dire?
Yeah. Okay. Do I just? Is it like a voice message?
Yeah, it's literally the sending spell.
Yeah.
So you have 25 words, and she can respond with 25. Once per day, either way.
Bertrina said he will not join us. I assume I talked to him and he was just like, I'm staying out.
Yeah, he was hesitant to join in.
He doesn't seem like a very combat mage.
Exactly. No,
There
what
is
you saying?
Hi. World ending.
Doesn't bury the lead, does Nyah?
Penitence vampire has scary orbs. If you want to help, come to the guild. We will fight. Goodbye, Nyah. One kiss.
Okay. You do get a reply shortly afterwards. Very well. If the guild is where it is, the guild is where I will be. See you there.
And that's what you did in Apocalypse.
Booty call.
Anything else? Before bed.
Do you know one person who has survived through
I almost went to visit them. I never got time to. I
last
really like to keep
cataclysm?
going.
We're not on amazing terms at the moment.
Would you like a letter written?
I'd like help. Think.
What would you like to say?
I'd like him to prepare the grove. If they are gonna have a, if it is that the ritual requires them to draw life from the surroundings.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Shut up, Alexa! Sorry.
That peacock's got a mouth on it.
Yeah.
Seriously does feel
If it is that they have to pull the life from an area, I can think of nowhere greener or more verdant than Siristir.
and nowhere that would be more heartbreaking to lose.
I'd like him to know that if it comes to it, the grove should be protected. The people are more important. But also maybe if he could get help, some advice, some old man magic, a little trick if he's got like another orb.
We could always visit.
I prefer it in a letter. I think a letter's easier.
Coward.
Would you like me to put anything from you directly to Janet? Not about the cataclysm. Not about anything like that.
But I miss his grumpy face.
Oh,
And I will put that in. And I will not sign it. I will just leave a space and some ink. Room for a paw print.
Adorable.
And that's the 5th level spell as well, so that's expensive.
Shit, sorry.
That gets there. That's first class delivery right there.
It's the peacock less asshole.
Yeah, a little bit.
There you get.
And we'll also put in the tip and the little PPS.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tip.
yeah.
Tip. Bird doesn't care about emotions.
At this point, 10 minutes has passed. No reply from Constantine.
And he hasn't sent it back either.
For you don't know the reason why. There are any number of reasons that it may not have worked.
It
You-
definitely arrived there, or else the bird would have just like pooped in front of me in the contents.
Correct. I have since read Speedy Courier, and there isn't actually room to reply on it, but I've decided there is, so I don't care.
Does it not say it?
As soon as the contents of the box are taken out, the spell ends.
Oh,
But I don't care. We've run with this now, and I quite like it.
Oh,
just like a.
You do get a reply back from Jenid, scrawled on the reverse of the parchment you actually sent. It seems that he didn't necessarily understand the spell.
I have a workaround. When the spell expires, or when all of the contents of the chest have been removed, it disappears. And he can return the items. So I also have a little thing in there that just says, "Do
Not
not
remove?
take,
Fair enough.
do not remove."
Perfectly worded. Reply from Jenid, as I say, put it on the back. You sense from like the speed of it back, it was almost like wasn't wasting time going to find other paper, because paper doesn't really often that much in a grove. But writes on the back along the lines of your concern is heartfelt. If you can find it within yourself to return, we have need to discuss the ongoing events. The Grove misses you too.
Oh. This is an emotional episode.
And with that, it is late enough that you all begin to retire to your rooms. Nyah, do you return to your personal room or head to the guest quarters with the rest of them?
I'll go to my personal room.
Very well. You all settle down, content that you do not need to set a watch for once. Comfy, high-class mattresses or warm firesides for others. Faendal. After your 4 hours, you kind of get up and start pacing and reading the Seren texts. If you would like to roll an investigation check for me, you can.
Yeah, I'm going to do it in the living room as well. I'm not going to do it in the bed. Is Rambear sleeping in the living room?
Yes.
I'll just be walking around Rambear then occasionally giving him scratches.
Fair enough.
but like it's it's got a fire. There's wine. There's like wine there and stuff. So can't roll. It's I rolled a 3, but it's a 14 at least.
A 14. It's been an emotional day. Between a lot of spell casting, other people announcing stuff. Maybe check again in a bit. Not quite coming to you in terms of digging out what the ritual needs. A lot of talk about the Emerald Veil, but doesn't necessarily pin down whether it's location, plant life, just a random location that was secluded or something like that. It could be nothing that you've dug out so far. And as you're kind of walking around deep in your thoughts, you feel like a movement of air and a tap on your shoulder. Turn around, and in front of you is the tall, silver-haired, plaited Eladrin wizard that you've spent the last couple of days with. Bethrian is standing in front of you.
Bethrian?
Right. Just come with me to the other side. Let's not... yeah. And he walks over to the other side of the room. I'm sorry to disturb you. I had some realizations after you'd left that I thought were best shared in person, and didn't feel like chasing you all over the map. So I thought it best to get here. I see you've met up with your fellows again. That's good. You're all here in one place. Were they amenable to what you figured out? Have you come up with a plan?
I think for now, we will. Your advice is sound. The guild is the best shout. We have found that Xenodus has gained yet another sphere, so there is no point going north chasing after that, which was the least likely option anyway.
You know he picked up another one.
I think I made a mistake in choosing this place to convene, but
I mean, it gets you all together. It can't be that bad. In fact, it's probably quite worthwhile that you're all here. It makes things easier, as it were. You lot get around the map, as it were, and keeping tabs on you is tricky.
You think keeping tabs?
I've had a deliberate interest, shall we say, in knowing where you are and what you're up to. But I suppose that's probably maybe not so needed anymore. Perhaps. I can be done with this, finally. And you see, standing there,
It's a veteran, is it?
Form shifts and melds, and fur begins to spread across the cheekbones, and the hair shortens up into orange and black stripes, and the staff that he is wielding suddenly shifts into a tall metal glaive, and the Rakshasa looks you in the eyes and goes, "I've been wanting to do this for far too long," and rams the glaive into your stomach. At this point, across the house, Nyah, you hear in your dreams just, wake up now," and you begin to surface, and then you suddenly jolt into the room as an agonizing, stabbing pain erupts in your gut. You look down and see a longsword buried in your stomach through the bed sheets. Standing above you in the bed, in the darkness, a figure, armoured. It draws its sword from you and raises to strike again. And that is where we will pick up next time. Well,
Now, I,
thank you.
as soon as veteran turned up, I was like, that's not veteran. But is it? I feel like I can't ask. So I feel like it's someone that's come up.
We will find out.
Veteran all along, or is that just? You see, I feel like that's veteran all along, and I'm going to hate you. I was like, I'm not friends with it.
Well, you will have to wait to find out because we don't have a game for another couple of weeks. So you're going to have to sit with that. But thank you all very much for joining us on this one now that we're back.
Again.
And we will catch you all next time.
Did he roll the hit? Can I do shield?